wala sa musyo ko sumagot siya. Alam mo, tumas na yun eh. Sa pinasulat ng show post order. Wala show post order. So now, ang secretary na overall ng by inaction. You choose not to act. Wala, nabasa ko na yun. Wala nga kami pakialam sa reason. Accept na rin yung citation of contempt. Ang reason niya, gusto niya parusahan mo na ng contempt si Pundal bago sa sisi mo. Kaya sabi niya. Masahin mo din. Masahin mo din.
lang yung one page na.
Ano meaning naman? Good order sake.
No, kasi wala pang sulat na
Yeah, it's
ayaw. Para lang hindi makulong. Actually, proactive sila. Hindi mo makakita.
for God's sake.
Yung hinahanap namin. Yun na ba yun?
Alam mo, ba't di ako apektado?
Meron, meron.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. The 21st hearing of the Blue Ribbon Subcommittee on Proposed Senate Resolutions numbers 826 and 1114 is hereby called to order. May I call on Director General Attorney Rudy Kimbo to recognize for the record the presence of our witnesses and other resource persons. But before that, I make of record the presence of Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Attorney Kimbo, please.
Mr. Chair, may I proceed? Currently present are from the Commission on Audit, representing Commissioner Heidi L. Mendoza, are Director Joseph Anacay, Director Mary Adelino, and Director Lucila Isidro. Representing the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, Mr. Ignacio Almira Jr. and Mr. Florencio Chavez. From the City Government of Makati, Mr. Danilo Villas of the Environmental Services, Mrs. Vicia Marie Aldon, Human Resource and Acting Administrator, Engineer Mario Badillo, Makati Acting City Engineer, Engineer Lain de la Peña from the Department of Engineering and Public Works. From the University of Makati, we have Professor Dr. Tomas B. Lopez. From the Boy Scouts of the Philippines, we have Attorney Wendell Avisado, Mayor Del de Guzman of Marikina, who's Vice President for Luzon, Attorney Arthur Umbak, Mr. Dale Corvera, and Mr. Roberto Pagdanganan. From Noble Care, we have Mr. J. Sangalang, and then Mr. Dexter Ortega from Tanya Ortega and Partners. We also have Mr. Antonio Tony L. Tiu. And from Miriras, we have Ms. Aimee S. Chong and Mr. Kimsfer S. Chong. We also have Mr. Federico Cuervo, Attorney Renato Bondal, Engineer Mario Echanova, Mr. Nicolas Ching Enciso, and former Vice Mayor of the City of Makati, Mr. Ernesto Mercado.
Since we have personalities testifying for the first time before this committee, may I ask Attorney Kimbo to administer the oath to all of them?
Those who are here for the first time, kindly stand and raise your right hand. Only those who are here for the first time.
Yes, Mayor Del de Guzman, for the first time. Yeah, please take your oath.
Kindly raise your right hand, Mr. Mayor. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take your seats.
And the rest are reminded that they will be testifying under the same oath that they have taken previously. Okay, so we have here our Boy Scouts of the Philippines officials because we were anticipating also the presence of Mr. Bobby Ongpin, Attorney Mario Oreta, upon the request of Senator Sergio Osmeña, who wanted to ask questions of them. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, Mr. Ongpin is not here, and the letter of his counsel states that he will be unable to attend as he will be out of the Philippines until the end of May, and in a letter dated May 13, 2015. But we actually set this hearing on May 28. I'm explaining this because our Boy Scouts are requesting that they be let go early, no, because they're busy. But because in an earlier letter dated April 29, 2015, Attorney Ponferrada informed this subcommittee that Mr. Umpin plans to return to Manila sometime during the end of May. So, and therefore will be available to attend the hearing of the Blue Ribbon Subcommittee if such a hearing would be scheduled at that time. So, I think May 28 is already end of May. So, we schedule it for May 28, and all of a sudden we get this letter. So, I hope our Boy Scout officials understand that if there are delays, the delays are not caused by the subcommittee or any of its members. But Senator Cayetano has some questions for you.
Mr. Chairman, just before we let go the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and the Boy Scouts of the Philippines also, do we have a representative BSP or AMNA? Wala. No, so only the Boy Scouts. Yeah. So before we let them go, I just want to ask them one question, Mr. Chair. And let me start with, I really believe in that biblical principle na kung ano itanim mo, yan ang aanihin mo eh. And sa Boy Scout, talagang nagtatanim kayo, for our future leaders. And for the rich, there are many, many opportunities for leadership training. But for those who are born poor or who have less in life, yung Boy Scout ay talagang oportunidad. And I think that's what led people like you to volunteer and to serve. And although ngayon may debate, dapat bang papasukin ng politiko o hindi sa board, the truth is politicians like I know Mayor Del, I know former governor, no? Pagdanganan, you've done much for the movement. In fact, not only raise money, convince other LGUs to raise money, coordinate with DepEd whenever sometimes they want to cancel some of the activities dahil kulang sa pondo. So, hindi natin minimenos yung ginagawa nyo, no? But what I wanted to ask you is because we're a rich country eh. Kaya lang our people are poor. Kasi nga, ang tinatanim natin parati, corruption. So, ang inaani talaga natin ay kahirapan. So, in the previous hearings, the Boy Scout, I don't know personally Mr. Avisado, but I know his family. So, I do know, the good reputations that that people in front of us carry from the BSP, no? Having said that, there's been testimony here na pinaubaya kasi yung Boy Scouts, no, kay Vice President, and then Vice President through one or two people, if I have it right, Vice Mayor Mercado, no, ibig sabihin, hindi mo inaakusa, can you correct me if I'm wrong, no, hindi mo inaakusa na yung buong board at lahat ng miyembro ay kasama sa conspiracy at nagnakaw sa Boy Scout or ginamit yung pera.
Tama po.
Ang sinasabi nyo po, may manipulation na nagawa ang Vice President, and because of these manipulations and using one or two other people, imbis na napunta sa Boy Scouts ang benefits, no, ay napunta sa kanya at sa ilang kumpanya.
Tama po.
Okay. So the reason po I want to ask you this before we let you go, no? Madami ng ebidensya lumabas eh. So halimbawa kay Mr. Oreta, who unfortunately is not here, lumabas na yung joint accounts niya kay Mr. Limlingan, lumalabas na rin yung palitan ng pera, yung sinasabi niyang ayaw niya i-confirm na sa mga kumpanya nila, katulad ng Noble Care, papasok yung 200 million, yung isa after 4 days lalabas, yung isa 100 million lalabas the same day. Lumabas na rin ang joint accounts nila, and pretty soon lalabas, I actually saw on Channel 7 or Channel 2 or both, no, yung mga bahay ng kay Vice President na sinabi niyang hindi na daw sa kanya at may bumili na korporasyon, yung pala, yung may-ari ng korporasyon nun, si Mr. Oreta. No? But ang sinasabi ni Mr. Oreta, hindi naman siya ganun ka-close kay VP. In fact, si Vice Mayor Mercado nga daw kausap niya. So, the question I have for you is that when we conclude this hearing and all the evidence comes out and it is very clear that the Vice President and with some specific people, no, stole from the Boy Scouts, will you, as the protectors of our children, no, of the Boy Scouts of the Philippines, have the political will, no, to do what has to be done to cleanse the Boy Scout? Because as late as 2 weeks ago ba, Vice? Di ba yung speech ni Vice President sa Davao ba? Sa Cagayan de Oro?
Opo, sa Cagayan de Oro.
Ang sabi niya, humingi siya ng patawad sa Boy Scout dahil nadamay kayo sa paninira sa kanya. Iba kasi yung nadamay ang Boy Scout dahil sinisiraan siya, iba yung ninakawan ang Boy Scout kaya totoo yung accusations. Because I think I can speak for Senator Pimentel and especially for Senator Trillanes, who made certain accusations. We will be man enough to apologize to the Boy Scouts and to you, gentlemen who are before us, if it is proven na walang anomalya, no, sa mga transaksyon na to. But if there is, no, and you and the people in front of me are not at fault, no, can we expect, no, some political will, no, na ayusin ng Boy Scout, ibig sabihin, bawiin yung property, if you have to rescind it with Alpha Land, and just, you know, restore the faith of our Boy Scouts sa leadership, no. As I said, the investigation is ongoing, so I'll not ask you to make a conclusive statement of what you will do. But if and when it is 100% proven, no, na nagamit, na nakawan ang Boy Scout, no, can our Boy Scouts rely on you, sir? And any one of you or all of you could answer, no. Just to give you an opportunity, no, because I know a lot of the Scout Masters, a lot of the leaders of the Boy Scout are watching us. No?
Good morning, Senator Cayetano, Senator Oco. Good morning. The answer is yes. We have always lived by the tenets of Scouting, and we always support and operate by the Scout laws, the trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. And in all the years that we've been here, I think I can say that we've always tried to protect the best interests of Scouting. And in this Alpha Land transaction, Your Honor, we maintain that based on the facts and figures that we have as of now, the investment of 600 million out of this land that was donated to us by Goodyear in 1976, the amount and the benefits we're getting so far indicate that it was a good investment. We're now in the process of working on a supplemental agreement based on joint venture agreement to make sure that we're going to get the share that is due to Boy Scouts of the Philippines, and we will pursue that. And as to the other accusations coming out, well, of course, we leave it to the wisdom of the committee and due process. As far as we're concerned, we'll absolutely continue to pursue the best interests of Scouting and use it for the good of the Scouts. If I may just humbly add, I've been in Scouting since I was 8 years old. I was in the Transport Jamboree, and even before I became a politician, we've always worked on this, and some other politicians have been like that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. And I know you by reputation. I know you personally, no? And I know that you and your fellow members should be treated with respect. And I respect, no, your statement now. But it is also possible, sir, diba, that a good investment na meron pa rin kumita o may kumikbat. No? Because there are two different issues. Eh. One issue is napakasama yung deal at napakalaki ng kickback ng isang tao. The other issue is you do have a good investment, yung tinatawag ng iba na win-win. But it's not actually a win-win win because yung ibang nakuha, hindi na dapat pwedeng napunta additionally sa Boy Scout nakuha. No? So meaning, there is a possibility that this committee will conclude and find that meron ngang napuntang pera either from the company of Mr. Ongpin or Mr. Oreta to the Vice President. But that doesn't mean that the Alpha Land was a bad deal. On the other hand, it could also be the opposite. So you're stating right now that upon your review, upon your knowledge, it's a good deal, no? But you don't have any knowledge whether or not meron pong kumuha ng kickback dito. Can you confirm that?
Oh, yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Meaning, sir,
And,
you're not saying na meron nakakuhang kickback, but you're also not saying na walang nakakuha ng kickback
Yes,
because you
yes.
don't have any knowledge to
yeah,
that.
Precisely, Your Honor,
Okay.
yes. And so lead it up to the committee and, well, for due process to take place.
Yes.
And whoever will be proven guilty should answer for
Yes.
his or her
Because
misdeeds.
even,
Yes.
remember, Satan is a fallen angel. He's an angel. Pero nagrebelde sa
angel,
Diyos. Remember, Judas was an apostle. So
Yes.
even in a tightly knit organization, even in divine organizations, pwede pong may maghudas. Pwede pong may hindi alam ng mga kasamahan niya na may ginawang masama. No? And that happens to us. Even in politics,
Yes.
sir, di ba? Our close
Yes,
associates,
Honor. Yeah.
tagal na nating kasama, na-tempt, nagka-problema, di ba? Hindi nating alam. The deal seems good, pero it went bad, no? May I ask my, and I have to disclose, he's my good friend and kumpare, Mayor Del, no? You're also very much respected sa scouting. Would you also like to give an answer, or?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Senator Coco Pimentel, Senator Alan. For the record, I also always be standing by Boy Scouts of the Philippines. Kung inisip natin na kailangan kung mapatunayan man, nandito po tayo para muling ibangon ang pangalan ng Boy Scouts. Kailangan.
Thank you for that. I think hindi naman na-damage yung sa level ng scoutings, no? Sa leadership lang ay may konting pinagdadaanan ngayon. And before we let them go, may I just ask the Vice Mayor if he wants to repeat or renew any calls that he has to his former colleagues in the Boy Scouts of the Philippines.
Bilang tugon lang ho doon sa pinaliliwanag ni Governor Pagdanganan. Kung hindi ho siguro tayo nagkaroon ng Senate hearing, hindi ho nagising ang miyembro ng National Executive Board. Maliwanag ho yung ebidensya natin. Nagkaroon tayo ng hearing ng January 25. January 26, nagbabayad ng rental ang Alpaland sa parte ng Boy Scout. Siguro ho, yun ay maliwanag ng ebidensya na natutulog ang member ng National Executive Board. Walang makapagtanong, walang makapagsalita. Dahil sa totoo lang ho, may offer na nga sa kanila ang Alpaland noon eh. Kung bibigyan ba namin kayo ng 1.2 billion, happy na kayo. Halos tatanggapin na po ng Boy Scout yung 1.2 billion na happy na sila eh. Kaya ho, nung lumabas ito, yung 1.2 billion na ino-offer nun, naging 3 billion na ngayon. Kaya lang nasasabi nila, Governor Pagdanganan, na good deal. Good deal sa tulong ng Senate hearing. Dahil lumabas dito yung mga katiwaliang nangyayari. Ang problema po kasi ng Boy Scout in the past, wala hong pwedeng magtanong kay Vice President Binay. Lahat kasi umaasang magiging presidente si Vice President Binay at karamihan sa member ng board, politician, na umaasa na magkakaroon ng magandang posisyon pag naging presidente na si Vice President Binay. Kaya ko lang ho sinasabi, good deal ngayon. Pero hindi pa rin natin pwedeng sabihin good. Wala pa naman pong na-i-deliver eh. Yung 3 billion po nasa papel pa lang, Mr. Senator. Wala pa pong actual na nakadeliver. Kaya ala pa rin hong good deal. Naniniwala ho akong good deal yan kung nakadeliver na yung pinag-uusapan 3 billion, Your Honor.
And for the record, Mr. Chair, kung totoo yun na sa Boy Scouts ay walang nagtatanong or walang nakakapagtanong, it is the same with this Senate committee. Because two former vice presidents during the Vice President Noli de Castro, during his incumbency as vice president, was called to the Senate and he appeared. No, and he answered questions. Former President Ramos was questioned about some power contracts and power plants, no? He appeared before the Senate. And kung kami magtatanong, spokesman niya ang sasagot, hindi siya. So we know the feeling, Mr. Vice President. That's why we renew our calls for the President to the Vice President to answer directly, no? Not only to the members of the Boy Scout, but to all of us here. So if he can address the CDO, the Cagayan de Oro Boy Scouts in front of them, pero wala rin tanong yun eh. Speech lang yun eh. Walang makapagtanong. But here, he can answer, he can give a presentation. No? Anyway, no more questions on that issue, Mr. President. Mr. Chair.
Governor, then I'll ask some questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Honor. You're going to ask some questions, sir? Please go ahead.
Go ahead. You want to react to the Vice
Yes,
Mayor?
I wanted
Sige
to
po.
just say that, una po, pinabubulaanan ko, yun ang sinabi ni dating Vice Alcalde Mercado, na wala nakakapagtanong. Ako po isa sa nagtatanong. At bagamat ako'y isa sa nagsabi na itong mga Senate hearings ay nakatulong, at sinabi ko po yan on record, ay labis naman po yung kanyang pag-aakusa na kaya kami ay nasa Boy Scouts sapagkat inaasahan namin magiging presidente. Hindi pa po kumakandidatong presidente. Hindi pa pinag-uusapan yan, ay magkakasamahan na kami. At siya, sa kasama namin. At kaya po, nakapanlulungkot naman na akusahan niya kami. Yung sinabi 1.2 billion, nais ko lang po liwanagin na walang ganoong pinag-usapan na bigyan ng 1.2 billion tapos na. Yung 1.2 billion po, ay yun ang appraised value, if I get the figure right, of the third floor, 6,161 square meters ng podium, is 1.232 billion worth na ngayon po ay nagkaroon ng deed of conveyance sa Boy Scouts. At ito po ay ginagawa na yung proseso para matituluhan. Pero isa lamang po ito sa mga pakinabang ng deal. Hindi pa kasama yung Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3, yung parking area.
Yan ang tanong ko, Gob.
Opo.
Kasi last time, parang sinabi mo na actually, meron kang special assignment na sa Boy Scouts, di ba?
Yes,
Ano yung designation sa'yo? You are the...
Ako po ang chairman ng management committee
Ah,
that will work on the supplemental agreement
Correct,
as provided
di ba?
in joint venture.
yes.
At ngayon, pinasa proseso na kami.
Right.
Yes.
And resulta yan ng hearings natin, tama?
Yes.
Oh,
opo, yes.
I know, kasi
Oo.
bagong pasok ka lang nga. And sinabi mo nga, you're in the process now of identifying. Magpapa-update nga sana ako doon eh.
Opo.
Kumusta na ngayon yung pag-identify ng units? Nasaan na po kayo?
Natanggap na po namin yung cost per unit. Una, yung architectural plan, Your Honor, and the cost per unit of the units in the two towers na tapos na. Yung pong Tower 3 ay nasa proseso pa ng paggawa, fit out. Ang lumalabas po doon ay, ang totohanan, nag-meeting lang po kami noong kamakailan, noong isang linggo, at nasa process na po, na-identify na namin, kasi ang punto na trabaho ng Management Committee ay identify sa Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3, at yung pati yung yung mga parking areas na siguruhin na 15% of total value will accrue to us. At ito po ay nandun sa joint venture agreement. Oo. So malapit na po yung Tower 1, Tower 2.
Anong bottom line yung tinitignan ninyo na 15% ninyo?
Yung sa total value po, kasi po doon sa joint venture agreement ay batay sa floor area. Pero may kulatilya po doon, nagbubuo nga ng supplemental agreement at kaya nga po ako yung na-designated chairman ng committee para siguruhin na 15% of the total value ng Tower 1, 15% of the total value of Tower 2 and Tower 3, as well as the floor area of the parking area, podium tapos na po yun eh, makukuha na nga namin, ay mapunta sa Boy Scout. At
Wala kayong projection? Ano yung, at the end of all of this exercise, ano yung magiging 15% halaga?
Sa ngayon po ay mga 3.2 billion. Nagkaroon po ng appraisal tulad ng napag-usapan sa Senate hearing. We commissioned a private appraisal group, Philippine Appraisal Company, at doon po lumabas yung 200,000 per square meter doon sa podium. Yun nga po yung 1.232 billion pesos worth na matatanggap namin.
So yung sa towers, more or less 2 billion pa. Kasi kung isama mo yung 1.2 sa 2 billion, 3.2.
Opo.
Yun yung totality
Opo.
na, okay.
And more for the parking areas.
And then, dahil din sa hearing natin, naklaro rin na hindi kayo nakalimita sa Tower 3. Kasi sabi mo, meron ka ng Tower 1 and Tower 2 shares, tama?
Yes.
Dahil,
Yes, Honor,
dahil
yes.
merong mga paperwork na pagbasahin
There was a
mo,
time na,
pagbasahin mo, nalilimita ang Boy Scout sa Tower 3. So we have to concede nga na, and I would like to congratulate our whistleblower, Vice Mayor Mercado, for bringing this out. At least na marami kayong naayos.
Yes, and if I may just add one more thing, Your Honor. Sa ngayon po, hindi naman totoong walang kinikita. Sa totoo po, ang totohanan doon lang sa podium, ay kumikita na po ng, ito
Rent.
lumabas din,
Rent,
napag-usapan.
di ba?
Yes.
Pero anong date
6.7
nyo una
billion.
natanggap yung cheque? Anong
Yan,
date?
hearing tayo. January 26.
January of this year.
Yes. And
Nag-umpisa na rin yung hearing natin.
yes.
Opo.
Yes, Your Honor. And now, we're working on another contract, and ultimately, just on podium alone, Your Honor, we're standing to gain an annual income of as much as 20 million pesos, just on podium 3, on the third floor of the podium alone. So this has been useful, and we acknowledge that, Your Honor. Yeah.
We have here some COA officials who can testify on the BSP Alpha Land deal. Director Anakay.
Sir, yung pong nangyari po yun nung hindi pa nade-declare na GOCC yung Boy Scouts. So, at present po, yung team po, as I said before, it started the audit only in 2013, covering transactions of 2012.
Yeah. Director, may I ask, because in the previous hearings, no, both the BSP and the COA agreed that there is no prohibition from retroactivity from the decision, because the decision is not saying that from now on you can audit. The decision says that it should have always been subject to audit. So in the previous hearings, and sorry sir, no, I just do not remember if it was you or another director who said that they are already in the process of doing, but there are some documents that have not been submitted by either Alpha Land or BSP. So do you now have all these documents, and are you now doing an analysis on this?
Your Honor, we have issued the initial report, and the audit is being continued by the Fraud Audit Office.
So it's being done. It's
Yes,
in
sir.
process.
Yes,
yeah.
Your Honor.
And we'll wait for that. no?
Opo.
Okay.
Meron pa rin ako sa Boy Scouts. Okay. It has been mentioned that Mr. Jerry Limlingan was sometimes or all the time present in the meetings between Alpha Land and Boy Scouts officials. Can you comment on this allegation?
I was in many meetings. I never saw him attend. Not a single occasion did I see him attend a meeting. He was never involved as far as we're concerned.
Attorney Wendell, maybe.
Yeah.
May I ask Attorney Wendell?
Never, I did not see him in any of these meetings.
In the
In the Boy Scout meeting.
yeah, in the preliminary or whatever meetings regarding the joint venture.
Yes.
Okay, so Senator Cayetano.
I'll just want to take advantage, sir, sorry, no, to add, because Noble Care is here. Who are the representatives of Noble Care? Yeah, can you please, just for the record, again, state your names and your positions?
My name, sir, is Jay Sangalang.
Jay. And Jay, what's your, Mr. Sangalang, what's your position in Noble Care?
I am a nominee, sir, of Attorney Oreta.
Okay.
What happened to Mr. Garcia, your president?
Sir, I just received a text message at around 8:30 in the morning that he is suffering from a fever. So he would like to be excused in this hearing, and he will submit a medical certificate.
And do you have with you your, is he an external auditor?
Yes, sir. As committed, we are with our
Can you please identify yourself, sir?
auditor to
Yeah.
explain some
Yeah.
of the questions that were asked during the last hearing.
Okay. So,
Can you please just identify first?
Yeah.
Any-
Senator, I'm Dexter Fisalbon Ortega.
yung Ortega, no? Okay. Sige, Senator Cayetano.
and Mr. Ortega, you're familiar with the dealings of the financial dealings of the Noble Care?
As far as I am concerned, I am aware of the yun pong sa financial based on my engagement lang po
Sige.
sa kanila.
Kailan ka in-engage?
Last March 25.
Okay. So you don't have personal knowledge of the transactions before that. It's your knowledge is based on the examination of documents.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just take advantage, sirs, that you're all here. Because kung may anomaly dito makikita yung isang side nito, no? Vice Mayor, pwede niyo hulang ulitin just for clarity, no? Sinasabi niyo na ang unang gusto niyong deal is it 70-30 o 80-20?
80-20 po.
80% for
For Alpha Land,
and 20% for the Boy
sa
Scout.
Boy Scout.
Joint venture, no?
Joint venture,
Okay.
opo. Pero hindi po nangyari yung 80-20 dahil kinausap na nga po ako ni Mr. Limlingan. Ang sabi sa akin, pare, pumayag ka na dyan dahil 20 naman talaga yan eh. Kaya lang, itatabi natin yung 5% dahil pangkampanya yan ng boss natin. Na ang ibig sabihin na boss natin, si Mayor Binay po noon, na ngayon ay Vice President na. At ang sabi po sa akin ni Mr. Limlingan at ni Atty. Ureta, sila na ang bahalang magtabi. Kaya nga ho sumulpot yung Noble Care. Dahil doon itatago yung 5% na dapat parte ni Vice President Binay. At ako naman po, Mr. Senator, Mr. Chairman, ako ho ay natutuwa dahil nagkakaroon po ng linaw yung aking testimony dito sa Senado base puro sa AMLAC report na lumalabas po talaga na mayroong in advance na 100.4 million at mukhang tumutugma ho lahat yung petsa, Mr. Senator.
Oh, okay. Senator Cayetano, singit lang. Yung nasabi sa iyo na sa Noble Care papadaanin, yung mechanics hindi mo na alam o alam mo?
Hindi ko
Yung
na po
detalye,
alam.
Yung detalye kung paano gagawin.
Hindi ko po alam
mo
yung
alam.
detalye dahil ang akin lang po namang sinigurado nung panahon na yon, siguraduhin na matatanggap ni Vice President yung 5% na pangkampanya niya noong panahon yon.
But from the very start, natanda mo na Noble Care yung nabanggit na,
Opo.
na behikulo.
Opo.
Okay, sige po. Thank you. Senator Cayetano.
So, I just wanted to establish that, and let Mr. Ortega answer this first before I make my point. No, can we show the July 25 and August 8 deposit of Noble Care to their banks? No. Okay. Mr. Ortega, do you confirm this? Yeah, you can come closer, please. You can borrow my glasses kung kailangan. Kung medyo malabo so that the public can also hear, no? In July 25, 2008, 100 million was deposited, and July 29, 231, 2008, 100 million was withdrawn. August 8, 2008, 100 million 30,000 was deposited, and August 8, 2008, it was withdrawn.
Mr. Senator, wala pa po akong nakikita or nabibigay na document sa akin patungkol dyan sa mga ganyang
Okay.
information.
Sige. So, I'll accept that answer because, kung wala talagang pinakita sa iyo, no? How about kay Mr. Sanggalang? Do you have any knowledge regarding this?
Mr. Senator, I do not have any knowledge as regards those bank transactions.
Okay.
I can only confirm the transactions between Alpha Land and Noble Care.
Okay. And you confirmed that Mr. Ongpin, when he was here, former Secretary Ongpin said that binigyan niya ng 5% si Mr. Oreta because part ito ng compensation niya.
I think, Your Honor, compensation was not the term used by
Let's talk in layman's term. I know now you're being careful, but he did use it if we read it. But after Commissioner Kim Henares said that you're now liable for tax evasion, he's trying to clarify in the compensation. But 5% was part of his payment, compensation, in very layman's term, no?
carried interest po.
Carried
yung
interest,
gamit.
okay. Carried interest,
Yes, sir.
right? And this was given in terms of shares.
Yes.
Yes. And these shares, later on, Noble Care was also loaned 100 million pesos from Alpha Land.
That was mentioned
Yes.
during the last
And then
hearing.
on the birthday of Vice President Binay, the loan was condoned.
Actually, sir, I do not have any personal
Okay.
knowledge. Yes,
So,
as
the
regards
loan,
that.
condone, ibig sabihin po, sinabi, okay na yan. No? Hindi na siningil yung 100 million nung birthday po ni Vice President. And the payment naman po, the 89 million worth of shares ng Silvertown na binigay daw sa Noble Care na carried interest, ay kinonvert sa shares ng Alphaland.
That is correct, sir,
That's
based
correct.
on the
Okay.
documents.
Pero nung hinahanap namin nasaan ng shares, nawawala. Ang sabi ni Mr. Ongpin at Mr. Oreta, hindi nawawala, nasa Philippine Depository and Trust Corp.
I have no
Yeah.
knowledge
Well,
as to...
sige po.
But sir, if I may just explain, no? I think hindi po nawawala yan because we have the stock certificate.
Yes,
To that effect.
it was in the name of Noble Care, but suddenly pinasok sa Philippine Depository Trust Corp, no? At para dito sa mga nagsa-stocks, pag gumagamit ka ng broker, hindi mo usually pinapalagay sa name mo kung itre-trade mo to. Usually, nasa Philippine Depository and Trust Corp, ibig sabihin, nasa broker mo rin yon. Pero, kung you will keep it or nasa iyo na yon, nasa pangalan mo. Sa inyo, baliktad. Nasa pangalan nyo na, pinalipat nyo ng PDTC, no? And what we found out, through Channel 7 news report, it was in Regina Capital. Can you confirm that ang ginamit nyo na broker is Regina Capital?
I think it is...
Can you
this-
confirm that it was Regina Capital?
I'm not sure, sir, because
do not know.
this is being handled by Alphaland, not
Okay.
Not by.
But it's your shares eh.
Yes, sir.
Binigay na sa inyo eh.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so bakit nyo ibabalik pa sa Alphaland?
No, sir. I mean because these are shares in Alphaland.
Yes, your shares in Alphaland were already given to Noble Care.
That's correct,
And it
sir.
was already in the name of Noble Care, tapos nilipat sa PDTC.
Okay.
So, ang ginamit na broker, Regina Capital. Tama po ba?
I cannot.
You do not.
I
You
do
don't
not
have
have
personal knowledge.
personal knowledge,
Okay. Do you know who owns Regina Capital or who runs it?
No, sir.
Vic Limlingan. Do you know who Vic Limlingan is?
Well, I've been hearing about his name, sir, but I do not
Yes.
know him in personally.
That is the brother of Geraldo Limlingan, no? Yung sinasabing legitimate businessman, sinasabi ng spokesman ni Binay, but sinasabi naman ng mga nag-accuse ay legitimate bagman ni Binay. No. So, nakikita nyo na po ngayon mga kagalang-galang na miyembro ng National Board ng Boy Scouts, coincidence ba tong lahat? Coincidence ba na ang 5% ay shares na etong 100 million nagre-represent? Na pinautang ay isang kumpanya na to na 100 million and in one day, i-withdraw? You deposit 100 million, you withdraw it in cash the same day. And then afterwards, the shares, ipinagpalit mo naman dun sa isang kumpanya, and then nawala naman sa kumpanya ni Mr. Oreta, napunta sa Regina Capital. Ngayon, nasa kanila ulit kasi iniimbestigahan natin eh. So hawak nila yung certificate, no? But it wasn't in their name when we deposited it. So if it wasn't in their name, that means it could have belonged to any person, including the Vice President. So if you were sitting in, it is a rhetorical question, no? I don't expect an answer, no, sir, because you have maintained your stand and we respect that, no? But if you were in this side of the table, no, of the investigation rather than there, no? And this is only one part of the investigation po, no? There are other parts of the investigation that shows. So for example, yung bahay sa, saan Vice yung,
Sa Tagaytay ho.
but you were saying it's, pag hinanap mo sa Tagaytay, hindi mo makikita
Nasa
because
Alfonso.
it's in Alfonso, Cavite, no? Sinasabi ni Vice President ay hindi na sa kanya, ay nasa isang construction company. Ang may-ari pala ng construction company ay si Mr. Oreta. No? So anyway, let me stop there, Mr. Chair. The point being is, at this point in time, no one can say na walang basis si Vice Mayor in saying may 5% kickback. Because it is not merely an allegation anymore. No? There is a paper trail, there is a string of evidence. No? I would accept if some people say we need to investigate further, hindi pa to conclusive. But wala na dito yung presumption of innocence because under the law, when you present evidence, the presumption of innocence can be overturned. Di ba? Ibig sabihin, pag tinignan ko si Vice, ay inosente yan. Pero pag lumapit sa akin si Atty. Bundal, eto ebidensya ko laban kay Vice at matindi, nagsishift yung evidence ngayon. Kailangan patunayan ngayon si Vice na hindi totoo yung ebidensya. No? And that's where we are right now, Mr. Chairman, no, Mr. President. And I hope no, the Boy Scouts will do their own internal investigation, and you are free to get the documents also from this. And lastly, Mr. Chair, before they go, no, we were promised that the Boy Scout will get a independent financial analyst, or I'm not sure about the name, no? Well, Governor, sorry.
Appraisal
Yes.
company.
Yes, to review, no, the deal and everything, because numbers are flying around, no. So we will expect that when may resulta na, no, so we can
May
share.
resulta na, Your
Yes,
Honor.
okay.
The appraisal report by the Philippine Appraisal Company showed that the podium was worth 200,000 per square meter, and that was the basis of this 1.232 billion worth,
Yes.
which was already conveyed
But
to
my
us.
understanding, Governor, is that what we will have the analysts do is look also at how much the land was when the deal was made. Because when Senator Sergio Meñas was here, no, the point was being made that upon the deal pa lang, no, nalugi na ng billion ang BSP. Then when it was converted to commercial, again, nag-gain na naman. No? So, I mean, not to go into that one by one, no? But actually, the point I was going to, Mr. Chair, is that we should do the same with a respected or an independent financial analyst or appraiser, and then ibangga natin or i-compare natin yung findings natin, sir, for the benefit of the Boy Scout of the Philippines.
Meron nga po.
Okay.
Meron po nung appraisal.
Sige, then we'll give you a chance when
Okay.
Mr. Oreta and Mr. Ongpin is here to present it, so that, we'll be fair to everyone, if that is acceptable to you, sir.
It's acceptable, Your Honor. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, nothing more from here. It's a noble care. Do you want to make any more statements?
I have a question, Senator Cayetano. Fact yun, na-establish na natin yung 100 million loan, right? That you admit that from,
Yes, sir, based on the records.
who is your creditor? You are the debtor, eh? Noble Care. Who is the creditor sa 100 million?
I think it's Alpha Land, sir.
You don't know?
It's Alpha Land.
It's Alpha Land.
Yes, sir.
The mother. The mother corporation, Alpha Land.
Well, yes, sir, it's Alpha Land Corporation.
Okay, Alpha Land Corporation, 100 million loan. And it was condoned. That's a fact.
I cannot, it's, condonation, sir, is quite...
I'll use your own words. What happened to the 100 million loan?
There was an offsetting.
Offset with what?
Offsetting, because instead of receiving this 188 million, what was given was a mere 88 million shares, or 8.8 million shares, I'm sorry. So the 100 million was deducted from the shares to be received by Mr. Oreta. So there was no condonation, sir. That is just my
Because
appreciation of the document.
you explain again the transaction. Okay, you borrowed 100 million, Noble Care.
Yes, it was advanced by Alpha Land.
It was a loan. Loan.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, so clear. Oh.
Yes, sir.
And then what happened to the loan?
Well, it was paid
By Noble Care.
by Noble
Oh.
Care by means of receiving, instead of 188 million shares, what Noble Care received for Attorney Oreta is only 88 million shares, not 188 million, meaning the 100
So-
million was deducted.
You were paying by receiving.
Offsetting,
That's-
sir. That is my appreciation of the documents. Although I was not privy to this transaction, based on the documents that we have, it appears that it
So
was
in effect, you
offset.
were paid 100 million cash and 88 million shares.
Yes, sir.
In effect, kung isuma total natin.
Yes, sir.
Huh? More or
Yes,
less, di ba?
Tama po.
And for what? Why? Why were you paid? By Alpha Land, 100 million pesos and 88 million shares. Why?
Because that is the carried interest of Mr. Oreta.
But
from
not
the
by
project.
Noble Care.
Yes, sir.
So by Mr. Oreta.
Yes, sir. But it was, these shares were transferred to Noble Care instead of to
No,
Attorney Oreta.
directly. Alpha Land to Noble Care. Not Alpha Land to Mr. Oreta, then Mr. Oreta to Noble Care.
That is correct, sir.
That's correct, di ba? So it is as if it is Alpha Land which has a transaction with Noble Care.
or an obligation to Noble Care. Although you know that was the agreement with Mr. Oreta.
Yes, sir.
Tama, di ba?
Tama po.
Sir Sanggalang,
Yes.
in this transaction that you're talking about, did Alpha Land lie?
I cannot answer that, Your Honor, because
You were here. You heard Mr. Ongpin, di ba? You
uh,
heard all of their statements. Di ba? I thought you have the same story. Akala ko ang Alpha Land at ang Noble Care pareho storya. Iba ba storya yung dalawa?
well, I don't think so, sir. It
Oh,
should
kung
be the
pareho
same.
storya nyo, so if you're not lying, they're also not lying. Tama po ba?
Well, yes, sir. We were just relying on the documents.
Okay, so my next question is, are you or Noble Care lying to this committee?
We will not lie, sir.
Because that is contemptuous, you know that. No?
I understand, sir.
Okay. So tell me now why you are lying. Because you are lying to us right now. I'll give you that chance to tell us why we're lying. I'll give you that opportunity as a gentleman.
Sir, what I have mentioned earlier is my appreciation of the documents.
Okay. Does Noble Care lie in your financial statements? That is required under law and under oath ba yan? Mr. Ortega, are financial statements required under oath? I'm not an accountant, so I don't know.
On the financial statements, we have a statement of management's responsibility that yung under oath is yung document po, may responsibilidad po ang management. Kung tama po ang pagkakaintindi ko, may responsibilidad po ang management sa financial statements ng company.
Okay. So anyway, Mr. Sanggalang, does Noble Care lie in its financial statement?
I would not know, sir, because these documents were prepared by the previous auditor, sir.
Okay. Do you know Okay. Alpha Land has a disclosure to PSE, Philippine Stock Exchange, because they were a publicly listed company. No, nagpa-delist sila. Eh sinabi nila doon loan eh. Tapos dinelist nila. So sino ngayon sa inyo nagsisinungaling? Kayo na nagsasabing hindi loan o Alpha Land na nagbigay sa inyo ng pera at sinasabi nila na loan 'yon? Kasi iko-contempt namin isa sa inyong dalawa dito. Dahil kayo ang magka-deal, kayo magkasama dito, sinasabi nyo, carried interest, para maintindihan natin mga kababayan, ang ibig sabihin ng carried interest, in layman's term dito, commission. Yun po ang commission or compensation, dagdag na kita ni Mr. Oreta dahil siya nakapag-put together nung deal. No? So, Mr. Sanggalang, who is lying?
Sir, we're just basing our answers on the documents.
You want me to show you the disclosure of PSE? Then from there, you can say that Alpha Land is lying. Alpha Land has a statement that utang yon. You're saying, no, sa records ng Noble Care, hindi utang yon. The one of the two of you are lying, hindi ba? Kung ako sabihin kung ininom ko yung kape, sinasabi niyang hindi ko ininom ang kape, hindi naman pwedeng pareho kaming tama, hindi po ba?
Sir, based on the documents,
Of Noble Care. But based on the documents of Alpha Land, they said they condoned and it's a loan. They booked it as a loan.
Your Honor, I think even the documents that we have, which is the Memorandum of Agreement, dated 11 November 2010, states here that it's a loan, sir.
Yes, but that's not what they declared in the Philippine Stock Exchange. That's not what Alpha Land declared. So you're saying tama kayo, hindi siya loan, and nagsisinungaling ang Alpha Land. Well, you're not representing Alpha Land here.
I cannot answer for Alpha Land, sir.
You're not answering for Alpha Land, you're answering for Noble Care.
That's correct,
If
sir.
Alpha Land declared to the PSE that it is a loan, is it true or is it false?
I wanna see it, sir, probably. If this...
Mr. Sanggalang, kaya nga if eh.
Yes, sir.
Kasi pahahanapin mo pa sa akin, medyo valuable yung ano natin eh.
Sir,
You're saying as a matter of fact, in the documents na hawak nyo, it is not a loan. So I'm telling you,
sir,
if it is a loan na binook kung yun ang pag-book ng Alpha Land or yun ang kanilang disclosure sa PSE, would they be wrong in booking it as a loan?
Sir, I made mention of a loan, sir, earlier.
I'm talking
It
about
is a
the
loan.
100 million. Sabi mo hindi loan yun. Sabi mo part nung 8,800 payment yun.
Sir, I think we're just,
So
mixed
meron ba
up with
kayong
this
100 million loan o wala?
meron po, sir,
Oh.
based on the documents.
Pero sabi mo, it is part of the compensation kasama sa 8.8, so hindi siya loan.
Sir, I think the 100 million that is being asked is about the advanced amount, which is also part and parcel, sir, of the carried interest, which
If it is an advance amount, it is not a loan. Hindi ba? Ang loan utang, kailangan bayaran. Ang advance sa carried interest, sa iyo yun dahil commission mo yun eh. Di ba? Huwag natin lituhin ng publiko. What is the 100 million? Is it part of the carried interest or is it a loan?
Sir, it is a loan, sir.
Okay. Did you book it in your FS as a loan?
I think
It
that
is
has
not.
to be answered by the accountant, sir.
Okay, let's have him answer it. Sir Ortega, is it booked as a loan?
I'll just verify now.
Do you want me to give you your FS? Hawak ko na eh. Wala eh.
Wala pong nakalagay.
Okay. So, sino sa inyong dalawa ni Mr. Sanggalang ang nagsisinungaling? Hindi naman siguro ikaw dahil sa you're just doing it based on the papers, di ba? And pareho siguro tayo ng hawak. O, Mr. Sanggalang. So, Noble Care is lying sa SEC by not declaring its financial statements na loan siya.
Sir, I don't want to conclude that Noble Care is lying.
You said it's a loan.
Yes, sir.
Pagdating sa FS nyo, hindi nyo dineclare na loan. So, hindi kasi sinungalingan yon.
Sir, it could have been an error on the part of our previous accountant. That's
100 million peso, no activity ang company, error.
Well, sir, that is just my appreciation
Okay.
of the records.
Mr.
considering-
Sanggalang, don't get me wrong. No, I appreciate you being here. It should be Mr. Oreta answering these questions. It should be your president, no? Mr. Garcia and Mr. Oreta. So I don't want to sound as if the committee is they call this is scolding you personally, but I think you would understand why we feel this way. Because the documents, kaya nga tayo meron ito, kaya nga meron ang just finish the point, Mr. Chair. Kaya nga yung sinabi ni Mr. Ortega, meron responsibilidad yung management na tignan. 'Di ba? And Mr. Oreta tells us that he is not only a businessman, he is a very good businessman. He's so good a businessman that in a multi-billion peso deal, he deserves 5%. Pero his management team cannot even look at the FS and say na, oy, ba't wala yung 100 million loan? Na yun lang naman ang activity nila during that year, no? So that's what I'm trying to show the Boy Scouts of the Philippines. No? And lastly, Mr. Chair, then I'll turn over to you, no? Oh, go ahead.
I just interject something because it's very relevant to your line of questioning. I will quote the TSN of May 5, 2015, Mr. Garcia. But we don't have any transaction. So basically, I'm just there as president, but we don't have any activities. Oh, and then 100 million loan, you miss? You miss it? Actually, tatanong ko pa nga, if you don't have any activities, why do you need to borrow 100 million?
I think, sir, if I can remember it right, the answer given by Mr. Garcia during that time, I think it was because he was elected as the president only in 2011. So that was the reason probably why he made mention of
No, but the characterization of the company as not having activities. Are you very busy as a company?
not that
Precisely.
active, sir.
Precisely nga. Yan na nga. And then you have, is 100 million a big amount or a small amount?
It's a big amount,
It's a
sir.
big amount.
My
And then
understanding, sir, it's a big amount.
You have one activity where you're extended a loan of 100 million pesos and you fail to book it. And ang logical question nga is, why does your company need to borrow 100 million pesos if you have no planned activities?
No, sir. I think the purpose of the company for incorporation is for construction and development of real properties intended for retirees. So I think if we will value these 100 million, that amount will not be too huge or too big for the operations or in furtherance of its
So
operations.
you're busy. You're busy. You have activities. And
Ah.
yet your president testifies that we don't have any transaction. Tas inulit pa niya, we don't have any activities. And now you're claiming you're a busy company.
No, sir.
100 million is part of your operations.
I think it was for in furtherance of the operations of the company.
That's a very busy corporation. We are 100 million. So what are you? What are you? What is Noble Care? Busy or not busy?
It is a company which has on and off operations. It's not busy, sir.
Okay, we need to, I think you tell Mr. Garcia, we need to confront him with these earlier statements because you're now contradicting your president, but actually you don't have a hand in running your corporation, right?
That is correct, sir.
That's correct, right? But the president who should have a hand in running the corporation says you're not busy, and you who does not have a hand say that it's quite busy.
I did not say that it's quite busy,
What
sir.
did you say?
It is a company which has intermittent operations. Its
On and
operations
off.
are
Okay.
on and off.
Okay. Sige. Senator Cayetano.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Sanggalan, just to finish my points, no, that's why I asked you why are you lying, to give you an opportunity. Sabi mo, 8,800 shares kasi ang binayad.
8 million,
8 million,
shares, sir.
8 million shares,
That is
no?
correct, sir.
At what value? Magkano binalyo nyo nung binigay? Di ba 10 pesos?
I'm not sure, but I
Ah.
think it was mentioned that it was
And
valued
di ba
at 10 pesos.
undervalued nun yun? Because that's 5% of Silvertown. No? And 5% of what Silvertown represents was in the billions. Di ba? That was already proven in the last committee. So, wag niyo sasabihin na 8 million shares lang kasi, sir. Kaya, bukod sa 8 million shares, may 100 million. Kasi even without the 100 million, yung 8 million shares, ang laki na nun eh. Covered na yung 5% ni Mr. Oreta. Lastly po, nandito po yung disclosure kung gusto yung basahin. Simultaneously, with the issuance of alpha shares, ADI shall cancel outstanding obligation of Noble Care in the amount of 100.4 million, the loan. Loan naman ho, malinaw tayo dyan, ha? Hindi advance yan, hindi carried interest, no? In consideration thereof, Noble Care will convey to ADI 2,031 common shares or 5.88% of Alpha Land Makati Place, P. Okay. So malinaw yan at kita nyo na. May I ask you, Mr. Sanggalang, no? Sino ho presidente ng Noble Care during that time?
I think, sir, the president at that time is Mr. Oreta.
Correct. Who was the president of Silvertown during that time?
I'm not sure, sir.
It
Because
was Mr. Oreta. Who was the president of Alpha Land during that time?
I think it's Mr. Oreta also,
Oh,
sir.
very good. So, presidente ka ng Alpalan, presidente ka ng Silvertown, presidente ka ng Noble Care, nagpapaikot ka ng hundreds of millions at shares, tapos sa tatlong declaration nyo, iba-iba kayo ng declaration, and you expect us to believe that it was an error. No? In the meantime, tumutugma sa storya ni Vice Mayor na meron naging 5% na bigayan dito. No? So, of course, your company is free to contest that and everything, but very clear dito, hindi nyo mapaliwanag na saan yung pera. And if the committee didn't look into it, it was already with Regina Capital. The money could have been going out already. It could have been sold. It could be put the name of a different client. Who was your accountant during that time?
The Gaya Reempilio, yes, sir.
Okay, we will call him. I request, Mr. Chair, that we call him because sisirain mo ang karir niya kung sasabihin mong siya may error na loan tapos sasabihin niyang hindi loan. So he'll either tell the truth here and you will be in trouble or sisirain niyo ang karir niya Because isang transaction ng kumpanya na yon, mamimiss pa. Anong klaseng accountant yon? So
Sir,
do you want us to call him here or do you want to clarify your answer?
Sir, we can do that just to give clarification on this
Okay.
past FS. But
Well,
I believe, sir,
we have to get to the truth, and we're hoping that everyone will be present here. The spokesman of the Vice President just said that we're waiting for the Guinness Book of World Records bago kami matapos. But although I find it funny, and sometimes I also use that joke, the truth is we're waiting for Ebeng Baloloy, we're waiting for Mr. Limlingan, we're waiting for the Vice President, we're waiting for Mr. Oreta, we're waiting for Secretary Ongpin, all of those who are relevant here, pero nag-TNT. Nagtatago hindi nagpapakita dito, no? So, that is our problem, Mr. Sanggalang. So, but if you'd prefer that he comes here rather than you answer the question, I know he's a private citizen. Accountants are professionals, but kung ganyan mangyayari na you're gonna say it's an error at siya ang may kasalanan, no, then we have no choice but to call him.
Can we get the name, Senator Cayetano? What's the name again you mentioned? The accountant?
Ligaya Rempilio, Your Honor.
Ligaya E. Rempilio.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And lastly, Ms. Ortega, there is a certificate there that the management reviewed the financial statement and that they found it to be correct?
Yes, there is a statement of management's responsibility.
And who signed that?
It was signed by the Mr. Jose Francisco Oreta
Okay.
and Mr. Ireneo.
Is that the same Mr. Oreta?
I actually don't know and recognize
Mr.
his-
Sanggalang, is that the same Mr. Babes Oreta?
No, sir.
Who is that Mr. Oreta there?
Jose Francisco Oreta, sir.
Related to him or not?
He's the son, sir.
The son. So, we will also call them here because they certified na tama. They certified na tama yung sinabi ng accountant. So, you cannot blame the accountant because that means the management reviewed it and agreed that it wasn't a loan. Because you refused to admit that you lied on your FS. So if you didn't lie, ibig sabihin tama. But I get your point, pwedeng error. But how can there be an error when you have a professional accountant, you don't have much activity, and then the management certified na tama yung sinubmit? No?
Sir, if I may just...
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Sir, actually, that's the reason why we engage the services of an independent auditor to do the auditing and review of our records.
That's right. Kung mali yung accountant nyo, kung mali yung anak ni Mr. Oreta, pinare-review din nyo yung mga boss nyo? Ang pinare-review nyo lang yung gawa ng accountant nyo. Pero sinertify Siguro naman kung manager ka ng malaking kumpanya, alam mo ang diferensya ng loan at diferensya ng bayad sa inyo. You don't need an accountant to know that. But anyway, Mr. President, I made your point, and I feel bad, Mr. Sanggalang, that you were the one put on the hot seat, but your officers are not attending. So please get them to attend so that they can answer and they have the personal knowledge. Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Chair, and I hope that the BSP is really taking note of what's happening here. No? These are the people you're dealing with.
Actually, we're asking the questions to benefit the BSP. If you are interested in the issue, that's a big if you are interested. Mr. Sanggalang, your president, Mr. Garcia, mentioned that you had an auditor who has already died. Is that the Rempilio that you mentioned?
Yes, sir. That was the information that we got.
So we are putting the blame on a deceased person?
No, sir. Actually, that was just my impression. It could have been an error.
Kaya nga.
Mr. President,
yes,
yun ang nakakalungkot sa ating bansa. Talagang yung kung sinong wala na sa mundong ito, yun ang napagbibintangan. No? Kaya gusto ko siguraduhin, bago ako mawala sa mundo ito, ayos lahat. Baka ako mapagbintangan din. Pero let's call the officers who certified that tama yung binigay sa kanila so that we can get to the bottom of this. But I know, Mr. President, we have a very, very full agenda, so let me stop there.
How about the present auditor? What is the extent of the help or assistance that you can render? as the new auditor?
Mr. Senator,
Can you go over? Can you go all the way back to 2008?
Mr. Senator, as the external auditor of the 2014 financial statements, we are bound to check also the reasonableness of the balances, of the beginning balances. So I believe that we can review the previous financial.
Just try your best, because we cannot already call Ms. Rempilio.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so maybe that would.
Maybe you can excuse Noble Care and BSP and hope that next time, before the people from the Guinness Book of World Record come here, the members of Alpha Land and Noble Land will actually attend. No? Noble Care. Sorry.
Before we let you go, just one more question to the source of our information of the 5%, former Vice Mayor Mercado. Magkano ba yung 5% na pinag-uusapan dyan? Kasi you cannot just agree 20% sa Boy Scouts, pero walang amount, 20% na pinag-uusapan?
Basta ang pinag-uusapan po, sir, doon sa 15%, 15% sa total nakabuang magiging saleable doon sa itatayong project
Kaya nga,
sa lupa ng Boy
nung
Scout.
panahon na nag-uusapan ng percentage, ang percentage kasi, mga kababayan, pag sinabi mo percentage of something, you had no idea what that something is?
Oh, kasi sir, ganito ho ang nangyari. Noon pirmahan yung joint venture, wala pa hong master development plan. Yun nga ho ang kulang doon eh. Kaya nga ho, ang kapalit po noon para maproteksyonan yung share ng Boy Scout, magkakaroon po ng Joint Construction Committee na dapat po, nung napirmahan na, matatapos yung Master Development Plan, ma-identify na po ngayon kung alin yung 5% at 15%.
Oo nga, okay. So, sa kwento mo kasi, merong nag-i-expect ng 5%.
Opo.
O di paano niya malalaman kung magkano yung ini-expect niyang halaga kung wala palang halagang pinag-uusapan? Walang suma total na pinag-uusapan?
Wala pa po that time kasi wala pa hong kabuuang plano, sir. Eh. Wala pa hong kabuuang plano yung itatayo doon sa lupa ng Boy Scout para ma-determine kung magkano aabutin ng 5% at kung magkano ang aabutin ho ng 15%. Ang hindi na lang ho nasubaybayan, dahil nga ako ho nawala na at nagkahiwalay ho kami ni Vice President Binay, hindi ko na ho nakita yung Master Development Plan, Your Honor, para makuwenta natin yung 5%.
To qualify, 5% of what? Of the gross?
Sa kabuuan ho, sa gross.
Sa kabuuan?
Opo.
Or sa kikitain?
Sa kikitain po, sa kabuuan
okay.
po ng...
So after the whole project, kung sabihin kumita ng 1 billion, 80% goes to 85% goes to Alpha Land, 15% goes to Boy Scout, but dun sa 85% ng Boy Scout, which is 850 Alpha Land, 850 million if it's 1 billion, yung 50 million doon kay Vice President. If it goes to 5 billion,
hindi
the
po
5%. Paano po?
Ang pinaka-share po ng Boy Scout ay yung aming lupa. Kaya ho kami makikinabang ng 15% sa kabuuang project na itatayo. Kaya nga ho ngayon, nakukuwenta na yung 3 billion dahil kasi ho may kabuuan ng plano eh. At makukuwenta na rin ho sa kabuuan na yon, nung dinideclare ni Mr. Oreta na ang worth ng project ngayon, yung value ng project together with the land, isinasabi niya na 21 billion. So doon sa 21 billion, doon ho kinukuha yung 15% ng Boy Scout. At doon din ho kukunin yung 15% ni Vice President Binay. Yung 5% ni Vice President Binay.
At manggagaling yun sa 85 ng Alpha Land.
Opo.
Kasi hindi niya mailalabas kung yung 20. Kung binigay ng 20 sa Boy Scout, malalaman ng board kung may kumuha ng 5.
Hindi po makukuha
Kaya
sa Boy Scout. Kaya doon ho inilagay sa Noble Care.
Doon sa Alpha Land muna.
Sa Alpha Land muna.
And yung Alpha Land, ang inyong allegation o suspetsa, ginamit nga si Mr. Oreta at Noble Care para mailabas yung 5%.
Yung 5%, opo.
Kasi listed company at that time
Opo.
ang Alpha Land, hindi rin basta mailalabas yung
Tama po.
yung pera.
Tama po.
Okay. Anyway, Mr. Chair, no, we will also engage some experts on this, no, and go through the documents. But since we have a full
Okay, my commitment to the Boy Scouts. Now, we will try our best to hold maybe just sana one more hearing, no, with the presence of Mr. Ongpin, Attorney Oreta, and then Senator Osmeña will also join us, and Mr. Garcia, para finally, and of course if Mr. Limlingan can be found, Mr. Limlingan, because merong nga allegation that he also acted as a bridge or participated in the meeting. So
Mr.
one
Chair,
more.
May we also, at that point, also invite Mr. Vic Limlingan and the officers of Regina Capital, no? So that masundan natin yung stocks, no?
Okay, so pero best effort because we need the cooperation of everybody. When Attorney Ponferrada was here, he was so confident and he was so believable that they would cooperate, but they're not here. Even the lawyer is not here. Okay, so thank you very much, Boy Scouts. Yes, Mr. Wait a minute, Mr. Sangalang, yes?
Sir, can I just make it of record that in view of the subpoena duces tecum issued by this honorable committee, we are submitting copies of these documents to this honorable committee.
Those listed in the subpoena, kompleto na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you just...
And Mr. Chair, may we also put it on record that any document or any testimony that you want to produce to show that the allegations against you are false, we will accept. So it is not just us asking the questions here. You want to make a presentation, you have this evidence. But given what we have, no, this is what we see. That's why we're asking you the hard questions. But meet with your officers and you're free to present your defense here.
Or a
Thank you.
position paper, memorandum, clarifying our misapprehension of facts or stating your position. Welcome. That would be welcome.
Thank you, Your Honors.
Okay, so thank you, Boy Scouts. Thank you to my mayor, Del de Guzman. Noble Care, thank you. Let's have a minute suspension. Okay, session resumed.
Sir Chairman,
Senator Cayetano.
of course, I'd like to thank everyone who's here today and finally some response, especially after the order to bring them here, no? And some of them came here, or most of them here came here voluntarily to say that they do not need to be arrested. But we have a full agenda. So may I just go to the Vice Mayor Mercado first, with your permission, just to ask him to continue on his testimony. And also, between the hearings, there's been a lot of challenges, counter challenges between him and the Vice President. So can we go back to that track, and then from there, maybe at 1 o'clock, assess where the committee will go from here, and then maybe we can have a working lunch.
We will have a working lunch, but since the people we have previously subpoenaed are here and they brought counsel with them, maybe for the record, I want their counsel to identify themselves so that you will already be, your names are already in our records. No? So for the Chongs, you brought counsel with you. Can counsel please identify himself?
Good morning, Your Honors. So I'm not very familiar with, hindi pa ako high-tech eh. I'm Attorney Andresito ex-Fournier, representing the Chongs.
Welcome, Banyero. Among the Makati City Hall officials, who was counsel? Ms. Aldon, yeah, please.
I am Visha Marie Aldon. I'm being represented by my two lawyers.
Can you ask them to identify themselves?
To assist the resource person, Visha Aldon, I am Attorney Alan Pagia with another counsel, Your Honor.
Nyero, please.
I am Attorney Anicio Guedes, Your Honor.
Guades.
Guedes.
Thank you. Welcome, Banyero. Mr. Chu, you have counsel with you, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. Same appearance as counsel for Antonio L. Chu. I'm Attorney Alexander C.D.
Okay, so, yes, Banyera.
Good morning. I'm respectfully appearing as counsel for Engineer Alain de la Peña.
Name, Banyera.
Sheila Maria M. Beltran, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Professor Lopez as counsel, please.
Good morning, Your Honors. I am Marie Vienco, together with Attorney Ron Voltaire Quezon for Professor Lopez.
Okay, I'm Ayas Pañero.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. I'm Attorney Themistocles A. Sanyo Jr. I also represent Chong family.
Thank you very much to all of our brethren in the profession for being present this morning. I'm assuming that you know the extent of your role or participation in the hearing. Let's limit our argumentation. You can just extend your advice as to constitutional rights or other rights to your clients. Okay, Vice Mayor Mercado.
Mr. Chair, just before that, the same manifestation for all of the counsels that are here today, no? If your client's name was mentioned, there are allegations, no? Feel free to submit the position paper, memoranda. You want to make a presentation to show that allegations, whether here or in the media, is false. You have that opportunity here. No? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Vice Mayor Mercado, please.
Maraming salamat ho, kagalang-galang na senador. Meron ho akong hinandang presentation at gusto ko hong makita ninyo at makita ng ating mga kababayan. Yun hong first slide. Yan ho inilabas ng Inquirer last Sunday. Sinulat ho ni Miss Nancy Carvajal doon sa kanyang naging panayam sa akin. Tuwirang sinabi ko po, Mercado to return loot. Sinabi ko po yan na kung meron akong hindi kayang ipaliwanag at parte ng aking naging pakinabang sa Makati Parking Building 2, nakahanda po akong ito'y ibalik sa gobyerno at hinamon ko po dyan si Vice President Binays. I challenge Binay to do the same. Pero, sa susunod na slide, gusto ko lang papakinggan ninyo kung ano ang naging sagot ng ating kagalang-galang na Vice Presidente. Paki-play mo lang yung...
Nakaw niya. O, ako, wala akong ninanakaw. Ha? Ba't niya ako ilalagay ng kondisyon? O, sabi niya, tulong sa bayan. Okay, di soli mo, may admission ka naman nagnakaw ka.
Alam po ninyo, nakakatuwa po yung sagot na yun sa akin ni Vice President Binay. Si Vice President Binay na lang ho ang hindi yata nakakaalam na kami pare-parehong nagnakaw sa Makati City Hall. Samantalang alam na po ng taong bayan. Kaya ho ako naaawa kay Vice President Binay. Sa kabila na ng alam na to at sinuportahan na ho ng AMLAC report, si Vice President na lang ho yata ang hindi nakakaalam na kami pareho nagnakaw sa Makati government. Kaya ho ako naaawa sa kanya. Alam ho ninyo, maski ho yung Kristo noong ipako sa krus, may dalawang kriminal doon nakatabi. Yun hong isa umamin at sinabi na, humihingi ako ng tawad. Ang sabi ho ng Kristo doon, ngayon din, isasama kita sa aking kaharian. Pero yun hong isa, palagay ko, siya po yun Hindi ho umaamin kahit totoo na yung sinasabi. Next slide, please. Ang sabi po dyan sa inquirer ulit, nakita na ang pera. Kaya nga ho, nagkaroon kami pareho ng freeze order Kaya lang, sa akin ho, kung meron mong na-freeze, barya. Kay Vice President Binay ho, ang na-freeze, sang-ayon sa AMLA report, 16 billion yung hindi niya kayang ipaliwanag. Ako naman ho, hindi ho ako naghahabol kung na-freeze man yung akin, sapagkat barya lang ho yung akin Hindi ho kagaya nung kanya, billions of pesos. Next slide, please. Ayan ho ulit. Ang sabi po dyan, nakita na ang pera. AMLA, Binay Allies Deposit reached 11 billion. Kaya ho ako natutuwa, Mr. Senator. Lahat po ng aking testimony, lahat po ng aking sinabi rito, nagkakaroon na ho ng katibayan. Katunayan po, katatapos lang natin doon sa Boy Scout Next slide, please. Ayan po, ang sabi ko po dyan, makikita po natin kung paanong tumakbo yung mga pera ni Vice President Binay kasama yung lahat ng dami. Makikita po ninyo kung paanong umiikot yung pera sa pamamagitan ng kanyang mga dami. At alam ho ninyo, ang susi sa lahat ng to, talagang dapat ho, mahiharap natin dito si Jerry Limlingan at si Edo Vihes Baloloy, ng aking ate Ebeng. At pakinggan ho ulit natin yung sinabi ulit sa news.
Bilyong pisong deposito sa iba't ibang bangko ang na-trace ngayon ng Anti-Money Laundering Council o AMLAC sa sinasabing pangalan ni na Vice President Jejomar Binay at ang umunoy mga dami ni Vice President. Pero ang kapansin-pansin dito ay ang mga withdrawal ng umano'y damis ng mga Binay nang mag-umpisa ang Senate investigation sa Makati Parking Building. Tinawag naman ni Vice President Binay na sinungaling ang Anti-Money Laundering Council. Nagpapatrol, Henry Omaga Diaz.
Sa records na sinumite sa Court of Appeals ng Anti-Money Laundering Council o AMLAC, may joint account sina Vice Presidente Jejomar Binay at ang pinagaanap na si Gerardo Limlingan Jr. Mula sa joint accounts na ito, sa isang bangko sa Makati, may mga nai-transfer na pera patungo ng Canada noong 2013 hanggang 2014. May tatlong transaksyon na tig $43,000, tatlong transaksyon din na tig $35,000 at isang $45,000. Bukod pa ito sa solong account ni Jerry Limlingan na may perang patungo din ng Canada na $20, $73 at $51,000 noong 2008 hanggang 2009. Base sa sinumiting report ng AMLAC, daang milyong piso ang naging transaksyon sa accounts ni Binay at Limlingan, magkasama man o magkahiwalay mula noong 2008. May $330,000, may $250,000, $317,000 at mga deposito at withdrawal na may 3.2 bilyong piso hanggang noong isang taon. Naunang tinuro sa Senado ni dating Makati Vice Mayor Ernesto Mercado ang umano'y mga dummies na mga Binay na sina Jerry Limlingan na nag-report lamang umano ng kita na 30,000 pesos noong 2011 at 2012 at Ebeng Baloloy na ordinaryong empleyado ng Makati City Hall. Pero ayon sa report ng AMLAC, bilyon-bilyon ang deposito, withdrawals at investment na nakapangalan sa dalawa. Mula 2007 hanggang 2014, may 116 na bank transactions ang namonitor sa kanilang pangalan na umaabot ng 1.8 billion pesos. Karamihan dito ay cash basis. Bukod pa ito sa mga investments na nakapangalan sa dalawa, magkasama man o magkahiwalay. Merong mahigit na 70 transaksyon hanggang 2012 na may kabuuang 1.8 billion pesos. Iba pa rin ito sa mga na-monitor ng AMLAC na transaksyon ni Limlingan sa mga trust at investment funds. Sa isang pagkakataon noong Setyembre 2010, may pumasok na 2 bilyong piso sa isang araw lamang na transaksyon.
Kasi alam nyo,
Pero kapansin-pansin na nang magsimula ang investigasyon ng Senado sa Makati Parking Building 2 nitong 2014, sumabay din ang malakihang withdrawal sa kanilang mga accounts. Binenta na rin ang mga investments at securities na nakapangalan sa umano'y mga dummies. Ayon sa AMLAC, mula noong Agosto 2014, mahigit na 3 bilyong piso ang nai-withdraw, naibenta o nai-encash na deposito at investments ni Limlingan at Baloloy. Ayon kay Mercado, napakalagang lumutang ang dalawa sa isyong ito. Pero ayon kay Vice Presidente Binay, gawa-gawa lamang ang lahat ng ito. Tahasang inakusahan niya na sinungaling ang AMLAC. Mali daw ang mga dokumento na sinumite ng AMLAC sa Court of Appeals. Pinanindigan din ni Binay na mayroon lamang siyang 5 bank accounts taliwas sa report ng AMLAC. At bukod sa sweldo, ay may dati na raw siyang mga investments at negosyo. Gayon din ang mga depositong campaign contributions. Mga manghuhula umano ang mga taga-AMLAC. Inulit din ni Binay na confidential ang impormasyon ng AMLAC at labag sa batas ang pagre-report nito. Kinontra naman ito ni Justice Secretary Laila de Lima. Wala daw nilalabag na batas ang media sa pagre-report ng petisyon ng AMLAC at freeze order ng korte.
Just like any other case imbued with public interest, I think media has the right to report those developments in a case. Wala naman akong alam na nag-issue ng gag order, for example, ang Court of Appeals on that.
Ayon sa Anti-Money Laundering Act, obligado ang mga bangko na i-report sa AMLAC ang mga kaduda-dudang transaksyon na lagpas ng 500,000 pesos. Hindi pa malinaw kung ginawa nga ito ng mga bangko noong mga panahon na nagaganap ang malakihang transaksyon. Henry Omaga Diaz, ABS-CBN News.
next slide please. Nakita na rin natin kung saan ginamit ang pera. At ang susunod ho, ipapakita ko sa inyo. Yan ho, ang bahay ni Vice Presidente Binay na matatagpuan sa Kaong Street sa San Antonio Village sa Makati. Ang halaga po, 60 million pesos. Next slide, please. Yan naman ho ang bahay ni Mayor Junjun. Doon din ho sa Barangay San Antonio. Yan ho yung bahay na may elevator na ang estimated cost po ay 50 million pesos. Diyan ho natin makikita kung saan nagpunta eh. Next slide, please. Yan naman ho yung bahay nila sa Tagaytay na sinasabing na ipagbili na raw ho dun sa constant builder na lumalabas nga ho sa pagsusuri natin na yun hong bumili, yun din kasabwat nila na si Atty. Oreta. At hindi po isang mansion yan. Actually, 3 po yan eh. Hindi ko lang alam kung nakita doon sa kabuuan ng slide. Next slide, please. Ayan naman ho, yung pinuntahang isa. Yun ho, 350 hectares na Hacienda Binay na inaangkin ni Ginoon Chu na kanya raw ho yan at hindi raw ho sila Dr. Binay at si Vice President Binay ang may-ari. Pero lumalabas naman ho dyan yung katransaksyon ni Mr. Chu si Mr. Laureano Gregorio, may 2 tigkakalahating ektaryang lupa dyan. At hindi nga ho si Mr. Gregorio pa mismo ang may-ari. Ang principal owner ho ng 2 tigkakalahating ektarya, Mr. Senator, yun ang asawa ni Mr. Gregorio. Married to lang kay Mr. Gregorio. Next slide, please. Ayan ho. Yan pa rin hong napakagandang yan ang mga pinuntahan ng pera. Next slide. Nakita ho ninyo kung gaano kaganda ha. Ayan ho yung mansion at meron pa hong man-made lagoon. Next slide. Ito po ang sinasabi ko, si Jerry Limlingan at Ebeng Baloloy ang pinakamalapit na tao kay VP Binay. Pero noong isang araw, ang sinasabi na ng mga Binay, hindi na malapit na kaibigan. Kakilala lamang daw po si Mr. Jerry Limlingan. Kaya ngayon ng umaga, patutunayan ko sa inyo kung gaano talaga sila kalapit. Makikita niyo ho dyan sa diagram. Yun ang nasa kanan, si Ate Ebeng ho, ang kanyang pinakamatapat na tao. At sa ibaba po ni VP Binay, makikita po ninyo yung hindi natin makita-kitang tao na si Mr. Gerardo Limlingan. Siya ho ang nakakonekta sa Miriras, siya ho ang nakakonekta sa Agrifortuna, siya rin ho ang nakakonekta sa Omni Security, siya rin ho ang nasa Caps and Mags and others. At dyan ho sa ibaba, makikita ho ninyo ulit, alam ho ninyo, naaawa nga ho ako rito sa pamilya Chong Mr. Senator. Sila ho naman biktima lang. Kaya nga ho ako naaawa sa kanila. Lamang, alahong makapagsalita sa kanila. Ganon din ho si Mr. Laureano Gregorio. Andyan din ho ang aking kaibigan si President Tomas Lopez. Andyan din ho yung si Mr. Gerardo Limlingan ulit. At andun ho ulit sa dulo yung, ano na yung nasa kanan na yun? Si Marin Linda. Doon ho sa bandang ibaba, makikita niyo ho yung mga bag at mga properties na maya-maya ho ng konti, uulitin ko po ulit sa inyong ipaliwanag. Next slide, please. Jerry Limlingan at Ebeng Baloloy din, inaabot ang kickback ni Vice President Binay sa lahat ng Makati Project. Next slide. Sinabi ko na po yan, Mr. Senator. Ang kinikita ni Vice President Binay, 13%. At yun yung tatlong bag, makikita nyo, nakapangalang kay Junjun Binay. Konsehal pa lang ho si Mayor. Yun hong asa gitna kay Ate Ebeng, medyo mas maliit yung bag nun dahil mas maliit ang napupunta ron. At mas malaki po yung napupunta kay Mr. Gerardo Limlingan para sa pangkampanya ni Vice President Binay. Next slide, please. Ayan ho ulit. Yun hong 1 billion na kickback para sa 2010 election. Uulitin ko po ulit, Mr. Senator. Awang-awa po ako sa may-ari ng Hillmark, kay Engineer Efren Canlas. Hindi ho siya makapagsalita, hindi ho siya makatalikod dahil ang sinasabi po niya sa akin, paano naman ang buhay ko? Paano naman yung pamilya ko? Pero sabi niya sa tamang panahon, magsasalita ako, kasi po noong 2010 election, binalihan niya, hiniraman niya ng 1 billion pesos si Engineer Canlas para magamit sa kanyang campaign fund noong 2010. Kaya ho ako awang-awa kay Hillmark dahil ang sabi nga ho niya, gustuhin ko mang magsalita. At meron ho mga ibang taga Makati rin na ang sinasabi, gusto kong magsalita pero maya-maya ho, Senador, gagawa ako ng apela sa inyo tungkol dyan sa WPP. Marami ho siguro tayong dapat baguhin dyan. Next slide, please. Ayan ho ulit, sinabi ko na rin ho yan. Buwan-buwan, nung panahon kami magkakasama, masakit ang ulo ko. Dahil dun ho sa 2.4 million na kailangang i-deliver kay Dr. Binay buwan-buwan galing sa basura. Pag nahuli ka ng konti, doon sa takdang panahon na 17 o 18 ng buwan, patay kang bata ka, kailangan maghanap ka ng pang-abono mo ng 2.4 million. Dahil pag hindi ko na-abonohan nyo, sakit ako ng ulo. Next slide, please. Ito rin po yung sinabi ko, baka ho ito nakalimutan tingnan ng AMLAC, Mr. Senator.
Before you proceed, kasi parati natin binabanggit yung AMLAC, just for the information of everybody, we wrote a letter to the Executive Director to be present in today's hearing. But may I know the response from our Director General, Attorney Kimbo? Response from the AMLAC Executive Director.
Mr. Chair, may I proceed? The AMLAC Executive Director, Julia C. Bakay Aban, sent a letter dated 27 May. And it says, Dear Senator Pimentel, we refer to your invitation dated 25 May 2015, requesting the presence of the undersigned at the 21st public hearing of PS Resolution numbers 826 and 1114 on Thursday, 28 May 2015, to discuss the petition for freeze order and the freeze order. The undersigned regrets that she will be unable to attend the aforesaid public hearing in view of a previously scheduled meeting with some foreign visitors that she has to personally attend to on the same day. Thus, the undersigned respectfully requests that she be excused from participating in the aforesaid public hearing.
We will just invite her in the next hearing. Proceed, Vice Mayor
Opo,
Mercado.
salamat po. Yun naman ang isinasahit kong AMLA, nabasa naman po natin lahat sa dyaryo yan. Lumabas po sa mga television yan. Kaya naman ho nasasabi ko. Next slide, please. Dito po makikita natin, 1996 pa lang, paanong itatanggi ni Vice President Binay na hindi niya talaga kompidante si Mr. Gerardo Limlingan. Makikita po ninyo dyan sa mga account na susunod kung paano nag-iipon ng pera si Ate Ebeng Baloloy at si Kuya Jerry Limlingan. Yan ho ay US dollar account with Edobihes Ebeng Baloloy sa Citibank. Pero tingnan po ninyo, ang petsa po niya 1996, Your Honor. Pero tingnan po ninyo kung kanino nakapangalan niya account na yan. Nakapangalan po yan kay Binay Jejomar C., care of Edobihes Baluloy, Galvani Street, Barangay San Isidro, Makati. Ang petsa po niyan, 1998. Ang tanong, nakadeklara po kaya yan sa SALN ng ating Vice Presidente. Sa SALN po niya, ang sabi po niya rito, ang total lang na pera niya 2.9 million. Doon pa lang ho sa isang yun makikita na natin 3.5 billion. Next slide please. 3.5 million. Ayan ho ulit, makikita niyo ho ulit, sa Hong Kong ho ulit yan. Jejomar Binay po ulit, care of Edobihes Baluloy po ulit, Your Honor. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Wala din po ulit sa SALN yan ng ating kagalang-galang na Vice Presidente. Kaya siguro po, ang aking panawagan ulit sa AMLA, magkaroon ho ng mas masusing investigasyon para ho lalo pang mapatunayan natin kung gaano pa karami yung pera nila sa abroad na hindi nakita ng AMLA. Katulad ho ng sinabi ko, wala nga sa SALN ito. Next slide, please. O yan ho, 1994. Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation. Yan ho ulit ang pera ng ating kagalang-galang na Vice Presidente na nagpapanggap na walang pera. Next slide, please. Next. O, mga bank account na hindi pa nakita ng AMLA, yun hong ING Baring. Makikita po ninyo dyan, magkasama na po dyan yung Gerardo Limlingan and or Edobihes Baloloy. At makikita po ninyo dyan yung mga halaga ng deposito. Paano po kayang sinasabi ngayon ni Vice President Binay at ng mga anak ni Vice President na kawawa naman daw ho si Jerry Limlingan dahil ang sinasabi, legitimate businessman at siya raw ho naman ay kakilala lamang. Yun hong edobal na salita, ang ibig pong sabihin nun, Edobihes Baluloy and Jerry Limlingan. Kaya ho, edobal. Next slide, please. Ayan ho ulit, Limlingan, Gerardo, and or Baloloy, Edobihes. Yan ho naman maliwanag pa sa sikat ng araw, Mr. Senator. Inuulit ko lang ho ulit para makita po ninyo at makita ng ating mga kababayan na hindi po ako makapaniwala kung saan kumukuha ng lakas ng loob ang ating presidente para sabihang siya'y walang pera, Vice President. At sinasabi ho niya, lilima lang daw ang kanyang account. Ewan ko nga ho ba, mukhang makakalimuting masyado yung aking dating kaibigan. Next slide, please. O, paano natin masasabi na ang perang ito ay kay Binay at dami lang sila Limlingan at Baloloy? Next slide, please. Yan po ay handwritten note ni Mr. Gerardo Limlingan na ipinapadala kay Vice President Binay na noon ay mayor ng Makati. Ayan ho ang report. At kung siya ho ay darating dito, pasulatin natin siya. Handwritten note po niya yan. Kung yan po, pera ni Mr. Gerardo Limlingan, bakit kailangang i-report? Next slide, please. Ayan po ulit. Naka-report po ang mga petsa.
May sandali, pakibalik sa previous slide. May mga pangalan Chua at saka Gatan. Ano naman yan?
Kasama ho yan sa mga ginagamit na pangalan ni Mr. Limlingan.
Siya din yun.
Hindi ho. May tao talagang nagtataglay ng pangalan yon. Next slide, please. O, ayan ho ulit. ING. Inire-report ho ulit kung magkano yung perang naiipon. Ayan ho, 1997, 1998. Next slide. Yan ho ulit, sulat ho ulit yan ni Mr. Limlingan. Pero mapapansin po ninyo, bakit kaya nagre-report? Ano kaya ang dahilan? Next slide, please. Ayan ho ulit. Simple po, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Senator. Kung mapapa-appear ho natin sa Senadong ito si Mr. Gerardo Limlingan, pasulatin natin kung hindi niya po sulat yan. Ako ho, magiging sinungaling pag yung handwritten na yan, hindi po yan kay Mr. Limlingan dahil matagal naman po kami magkasama. Next slide, please. Makikita rin po ninyo dyan kung paano tumatakbo yung kanilang mga pera. Medyo malabo lang po yung pagkakaprint. Pero makikita po nyo yung petsa, June 1997, March 1998, July 1998, August 1998. Napakadami pong pera niya. Nasa tingin ko, hindi pa po nakita ng AMLA yan. Next slide, please. Si Jerry Limlingan din po ang nagmanyobra para itago ang pagmamayari ng Comembo property ni BP Binay. Alam po ninyo, Mr. Senator, mahabang panahon pong pinagdusahan yan. Next slide, please. Yan ho yung Miriras. Alam ho ba ninyo, nung panahong yon, kung nakikinig ho ang mga tiga Makati at tiga Comembo, minumura po ako ng lahat ng tigaron sa kalapit na barangay. Swapang si Mercado, magnanakaw si Mercado, kay Mercado pala to. Pero para mapagtakpan ko po siya, Mr. Senator, hindi ho ako gumawa ng anumang sagot. At ang aking patunay po na hindi akin yan, pagkatapos po ng eleksyon, nawala na po ako dyan Kaya sabi ng mga tao po ngayon sa Makati, ay hindi pala kay Mercado to, kay Binay pala talaga. Kaya ayan ho ang sinasabi ko, Miriras Realty Corporation. Ang Miriras Corporation po ay tinayo para maitago ang mga iba't ibang properties ni BP Binay sa pangalan ng isang kumpanya. Specifically, ang 8,887 square meter, 1 billion property sa Makati na pag-aari ni BP Binay, pero itinago sa Miriras Corporation. Next slide, please. Ayan ho yung pinag-uusapang area, ayan ho yung unang building na natayo, yun ho yung Apex building na tinatawag namin. Inilabas din po yan ng Inquirer. Next slide, please. Ito ho, maliwanag na yun hong note doon sa kaliwa sa itaas, to M1. Ang nire-represent ho ng pangalang to M1 si Mayor Jejomar Binay po. At doon po sa bandang ibaba, makikita po ninyo yung naka-encircle doon, ang nakalagay po doon, Jerry L. Ito ho, yung kanyang report, kung ano ang mga dapat gawing manyobra sa dokumento ng Miriras para madokumentohan. At noon hong magkaroon, next slide, ang sabi po niya ulit dito, to M1, implementing documentation on the restructuring and capital increase of Miriras. Imperative, I get to know of any changes you may want now. Nanghihingi ho siya ng advice na ang sinasabi ni Jerry, naayos ko na lahat. Kaya ipinadadala ko sa iyo yung aking report, baka may gusto ko pang mga baguhin, para kung wala, i-go-go ko na ho ito. Next slide, please. Ikinonsulta ho yan ni Mr. Limlingan sa Castillo, Lamantan, Pantalyon, and San Jose Law Office. Makikita po ninyo dyan, nakapangalan po dyan, dinagdagan na ho ng kapital, pumasok na ho si Bunchong, si Mrs. Erlinda Chong, si Mr. Janitan, pumasok na rin po dyan si Mr. Gerardo Limlingan, Your Honor. Next slide, please. At makikita po niyo sa bandang itaas, iba ho ang mga may-ari, pero dito po sa bandang ibaba, makikita po ninyo dyan ngayon, na wala na po ngayon itong Ricardo Velasquez, Nelia Lau, Antonio San Jose, Blasilio Elmas, Henry Santos. Pumasok na po ngayon itong mga ito, Manuel Baligo, Dres de Salvador, Olivia Caballa, Ricardo de Guzman, Ramon Garcia. Pero next slide, please. Makikita po niyo ulit, nawala na po ulit. Nilalagyan po kasi ng mga documentation Kaya ho yung Manuel Baligod, napunta na ho yung kay Bunchong, yung Manuel Baligod na isa, napunta na ho sa Erlinda Chong, yung Ricardo de Guzman, napunta na ho sa Janitan, at saka kay Gerardo Limlingan. Next slide. Dito na po, napafinalize dahil meron na po ritong deed of assignment of receivable. Lumaki na po ngayon yung kapital ng kumpanyang yan. Next slide, please. At nagkaroon na ho siya ngayon ng whereas out of the said 80 million capital increase. Ayan, lumaki na ho bigla yung pera. Pero nababago na hong unti-unti yung may-ari. Si Bunchong, Erlinda Chong, Janitan, Gerardo Limlingan. Next slide, please. Dito po ay makikita nyo kung gaano kagaling magpatakbo ng dokumento si Mr. Limlingan na eventually, yun hong Miriras Realty na yan, ay siya na ho ngayon ang isa sa nagpapatakbo dyan, kasama po yung Chong family. Pero again, yun hong Chong family talagang hindi sa nakaharap yung mga bata, sila ho naman ay lehitimong mga negosyante. Nagkataon lang ho na nagagamit at naging kaibigan ni Vice President Binay. Siyempre, hindi naman nila kayang tumanggi kay Mr. Jerry Limlingan sa anumang gustong ipagawa ng tao. Next slide, please. O, si Jerry Limlingan din po sa isa sa mga presentation ko, sinabi ko na dami ni VP Binay sa 15 million Tagaytay Highlands property. Hindi lang ho ito masyadong napag-ukulan ng pansin noong panahong yon. Ayan ho yung kanilang log cabin po yata ang tawag dyan doon sa Tagaytay Highlands, kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Sige, idiretso mo na lang yung itsura ng bahay. O, bakit ulit sinasabi ko na kay Vice President Binay yan? Ayan, maliwanag ho. Ang petsa ho ng sulat, 31 January 1997, address kay Mayor Jejomar Binay. Naka-address ho sa kanya, ayun ho ang sinasabi, we are pleased to inform you that you have been allocated Redwood, 3-bedroom unit na sa halagang 15 million pesos. Ang tanong, sa kanya ba ulit nakapangalan yan ngayon at nasa SALN ho ba niya yan ulit? Next slide, please. Again, ayan ho ulit, to Ate Ebeng, from Jerry Limlingan. Again, may note ho ron to M1. Your copy on the price and schedule of payment. At nakabawas pa nga ho ng 10%. Ayun, we got 10% discount on the price. Talagang magaling yung negosyador si Mr. Jerry Limlingan. Pero, sa suma total, hindi pa rin ho ulit nakapangalan sa kanya yan. Next slide. Ayan ho ang kabuang halaga. Ang nakapirma ho ulit sa ibaba, si Mr. Gerardo Limlingan, at nakadetalye po riyan kung paanong babayaran yon buwan-buwan hanggang sa matapos ang bayad. Next slide, please. Ito, Mr. Senator, gusto ko lang hong pakititigan nyo to. Bumili ho si Mr. Gerardo Limlingan ng manager's check sa Philippine National Bank. Napapansin ho ba niyo yung address, sir? Gerardo Limlingan, ang address, 1811 Kaong Street, San Antonio Village, Makati. Alam ho ba ninyo kung kanino address yun, Mr. Senator? Address ho yan ang bahay ng ating kagalang-galang na Vice Presidente na si Jejomar Binay. Paano kaya nilang itinatanggi na hindi niya dami si Mr. Limlingan at hindi kanya yung Tagaytay Highlands? Next slide, please. Yun ho kaya mga petsa at mga address. Nagkakataon lang ho kaya yan, sir? Talagay ko ho naman sa dami ng pagkakataon. Si Jerry Limlingan din, ang dami ni VP Binay sa Omni Security. Next slide, please. Makikita po ninyo rin, sir, sa bandang kaliwa. Yan po, yan hong unang slide na yan. Makikita po ninyo kung kailan in-incorporate. At makikita po ninyo dyan kung sino ho ang mga original incorporator. At doon ho sa isang testimony ni Mr. Orellasa, sinabi nga ho niya na dami lang siya at kung sana maipasusubpi na lang ho natin yung account o yung mga checkbook at yung mga use check na ginamit ng Omni sa RCBC. Magtataka po kayo, wala naman pong pangalan dyan si Mr. Limlingan. Pero hindi ho magugud ang anuman checking i-issue ng Omni na pirmado ng presidente na si Mr. Orellasa nang hindi po nakapirma si Mr. Gerardo Limlingan. Isa po siguro yon sa dapat nating ipasumpina na makita natin na bakit nga ba si Mr. Limlingan ang kailangang co-signatory ni Mr. Orellasa na presidente ng Omni. Ngayon nga yata ho, balita ko, sumasakit na ulo nila nung na-appraise yung account ng Omni. Malapit na ho yatang may mga magsalita ron, Mr. Senator. Dahil yung mga gwardiya ho at saka mga janitor, mukha hong nung na-appraise, nag-iiyakan dahil hindi po nila napapasweldo.
yun lang naman ho ang katibayan na talagang, kung doon sa legitimate na kumpanya yun, di walang problema. Next slide, please. Yan ho, makikita ninyo, yung GIS ng 2014, makikita nyo ho dyan, actually, nagsimula ho ito ng 2010 huli lang yung nakuha. Mapapansin po nyo dyan, noong 2010, pagkatapos po ng eleksyon, nawala na ho sila Mr. Orellasa. Ang napalit na po dyan, si Margaret Licnoc, asawa ni Mr. Gerardo Limlingan, si Bernadette Portaliano, si Miss Irene Lopez, at si Miss Aida Alcantara. Ikukorek ko lang ho yun dahil baka naman ang aking kuya Tomas, si Professor Lopez, dati pong may bahay yun, si Irene Lopez. At hindi ho si Professor Lopez ang kumimbinsi dyan para malagay sa pangalan yan. Si Mr. Limlingan ho ulit. Asan ba aking kuya Tomas? Alam ko, magkakaproblema ito mamaya pag sinabi kong asawa ni Professor Lopez. Dati hong may bahay ni Professor Lopez. At ang kumimbinsi ho riyan, in fairness ho kay Professor...
Excuse me, I will give Professor Lopez a chance to comment if he wants to later, to react. Okay. Sige, Vice Mayor, continue.
Hindi po siya yung, nagkaroon ho rin ng siguro hindi pagkakaintindihan. Kaya hindi ho si Professor Lopez ang kumimbinsi doon. Next slide, please. Ito na ho ang panghuli ko. Si Jerry Limlingan din ang kasama ni Attorney Mario Ureta na nagluto ng Boy Scout. Itinatanggi po nila yan. Pero, kung titingnan po ninyo, Mr. Senator, next slide. Mapapansin, next slide pa ho ulit. Makikita po niyo rin kung gaano kasarap ang tawanan, no? Tawan-tawa si Vice President Binay, si Secretary Ongpin, si Mr. Babes Ureta, siguro pinagbubulong nga na nila. Paano ba para natin lilinisin talaga yung record natin? Next slide, please. Yan ho, kanina yung ipinaliliwanag ko sa inyo, sir. Hindi ako pumayag dahil ang gusto ko ay 20% ang share. Pero, yan ho ulit, hinihingi ko ng tawad sa lahat ng Boy Scout. Napapayagan ko po yan. Next slide, please. Ito po yung sinabi ko. Pero ang naging malaking kamalian ko ay napapayag ako ni Jerry Limlingan. Kasi ang sabi po niya dyan, Vice, pumayag ka na sa deal na ito. 20% naman talaga ang share, pero yung 5% para kay Boss Binay. Yun ay pangkampanya natin bilang presidente dahil noong panahong yon, hindi naman Vice President ang gusto namin. Ang gusto po namin talaga noon ay presidente, nagbago lang ho ng stand. Nung kami nagkahiwa-hiwalay na, napunta po siya sa pagiging vice presidente. At isa ho rin ulit, last slide na po ito. Ito po nakita ko rin sa report sa dyaryo, Mr. Senator, dahil ako ho ang napagbibintangan na ako daw ho ang nag-link sa media dyan sa AMLA report. Hindi po ako. Ang totoo po, kasama po ako, Mr. Senator, sa pinadalan ng freeze order ng Court of Appeal. Kaya naman ho, pati yung aking mga anak na iba sa Nueva Ecija na damay. Kaya ang ginawa ko, in-email ko po yun sa branch sa Kabanatuan ng Security Bank at saka po ng UCPB yata. Dahil hindi na pinapatunayan ko lang na hindi naman kasama yung account nila. Ang ginawa naman ho ng branch sa Kabanatuan, in-email po ulit yun sa head office at nanghingi sila ng advice. Then finally, pinarelease naman ho yung transaksyon ng mga bata. Pero, diyan ho sa nakita ko sa dyaryo at nabasa ko sa dyaryo, paano kayang nagkaroon ng joint account? Si Attorney Ureta at si Mr. Limlingan. Kaya ho kanina, Mr. Senator, kung mapapansin nyo, pinipilit ko sa papel pa lang yung sinasabing kita ng Boy Scout. Wala pa hong katotohanan yun, sir. Nasa papel pa lang. Kaya ho, siguro, para matulungan natin lalo ang Boy Scout, siguro dapat huwag natin bitiwan hanggang sa makuha nila yung kanilang parte. At panghuli po, Mr. Senator, gusto ko lang ho sigurong mag-suggest na masusugan natin yung batas sa WPP. Napakarami hong gustong magsalitang tao. Naniniwala po ako na may mga taong hindi makapagsalita. Una, natatakot. Pangalawa, yung tanong po nila sa akin paano naman ang kanilang kabuhayan? At gusto ko lang hong bigyan ng konting istorya sa inyo yung aking karanasan bilang isang taong nakapailalim sa WPP. Hindi ko ho sasabihin ito sa inyo, Mr. Senator, dahil gusto kong habulin sa gobyerno. Hindi po. Ito ho ay sasabihin ko para doon sa mga susunod na witness. Mula ho nung ako yung magsalita dito, Mr. Senator, at tanggapin ko yung inyong alok sa akin na mailalim po sa WPP, ako ho ay binigyan ng sapat na proteksyon ng ating DOJ. Meron hong mga security na naka-assign sa akin. Pero siyempre, buhay ko po ang binabantayan noon at buhay ng pamilya ko. Kaya kahit ho sila may sweldo, kahit papano, binibigyan ko rin po sila. Kahit po papano, kung saan po ako kumain, pinakakain ko rin po sila. Ang nangyari po sa akin, Mr. Senator, magmula po nung August, para na rin po akong presong nakakulong. Limitado na po ang aking galaw, hindi na po ako nakapaghahanap buhay. Meron ho akong mga negosyong naisara dahil sa pag-witness ko po rito. Average po siguro, dati kumikita po ako siguro sa paghahanap buhay, mga 1.5 to 2 million a month. Nawala po yon, Mr. Senator. Pero again, hindi ko po hinahabol ito sa gobyerno. Sinasabi ko lang ho sa susunod. Magmula po nung August, kung susumahin ninyo sa hanap buhay kong ginagawa ko, nawawalan po ako ng 2 million almost a month. Mag-iisang taon na po yon. Pag kinuwenta po natin yung 2 million a month, sa loob ng isang taon, 24 million yon. At hindi ko pa po alam, sir, kung hanggang kailan ito matatapos. Siguro another 1 year more para ito matapos. Ngayon, ang dami hong tukso, sir. Bibigyan ka na lang ng malaking pera, umalis ka na lang. Kung mahina-hina ho ang loob ko, tinanggap ko na. Pero hindi ko ho tinanggap ang anumang alok na pera sa akin ng kampo ni Vice President Binay para ho sa bayan. Dahil kung ako ho'y mawawala, hindi ko naman sinasabing matatapos na to. Pero pag wala na ho siguro magwi-witness hanggang sa Sandigan Bayan, pwedeng humina yung kaso. Kaya ko ho ito binubuksan sa inyo again, hindi ko ho hinihinging palitan sa akin ito ng gobyerno. Siguro lang ho dapat magkaroon ng pagsusug doon sa Witness Protection Program para ho lumabas pa yung mga ibang taong mas may nalalamang katiwalaang nangyayari sa pamahalaan na mabigyan sila ng tamang proteksyon, tamang pagkalinga at tamang pakinabang para sa kanilang pamilya at sa kanilang buhay. Maraming salamat po.
Mr. Chair, on that point lang, Sir Vice Mayor, no? Actually, alam mo, nung tinitignan kita at pinapakinggan kita sa WPP nga, no? Parang, hindi ko talaga na-realize, no, na ganun kalaki nawawala sa'yo. Kasi marami na rin akong na-handle na witness, no? Halimbawa, si June Losada, na hindi man nawala kabuhayan niya, pero trabaho, mahirap na kumuha ng trabaho. Yung mga anak, syempre, kahit papano, na trauma, yung asawa. And anywhere they go, they are already celebrities, eh. No, I mean, they are people that people know. So, either some people like them, some people don't like them, no? At ang isa pang hindi nakakaalam, halimbawa, katulad ko, no? Nung kalabang ko po si First Gentleman dati, kung may mangyari sa akin, siya lang pagbibintangan. Pero ngayon, pwedeng si Vice President, pwedeng si MILF, napakarami ng pila. So what people don't understand is that when you are witnessing or you're fighting powerful people, no, while you're in the spotlight, things seem okay. Pero once wala ka na sa spotlight, ay hindi na okay. Kasi halimbawa, security. Kami ba nagpro-provide din ng security sa inyo ngayon?
Bigay po sa akin ng DOJ
oh.
at saka po yung PNP.
Pero meron ka rin ng sarili mo dahil syempre yung trusted mo. No?
Meron po. Yung pong talagang nakadikit sa akin, talagang kinuha ko po yung talagang tao ko kasi...
But unlike in the US, for example, that magbibigay ng ibang identity at ililipat yung buong pamilya somewhere else. No, for example, no, let's say si Engineer Hechanova, no, hindi ka nakakapagtrabaho ngayon, Engineer, no? No. And even if...
Use the mic, Engineer.
Wala sir, since nung mag-start yung hearing,
you had
wala
to
rin
resign.
akong trabaho.
Oo. Dahil syempre, hindi ka nakakapasok kung saan ka man nagtatrabaho, no?
Yes sir.
And mga anak mo?
Yung isa napilitang mag-resign dahil dun sa hearing. Tapos yung isa, napilitan akong pasamahan lagi ng kasama pag pumapasok sa eskwela.
And assuming na they can have a job, it won't be normal because yung security, di ba, yung susundo sa kanya, mawala lang buong gabi. Siyempre, although young people do that, but in our case, pag may makuha na kapamilya mo, pwedeng gamitin para sabihin dito sa hearing, baliktarin mo yung sinasabi mo, no? I'm not
Going,
saying
sir.
that may nagplaplano, no? I'm saying that it's all a possibility.
Yes, sir.
And
Possible, sir.
hindi maintindihan ng tao na pag nandiyan ka sa sitwasyon na yan, eh, ganyan nangyayari, no? So, si Benhar, halimbawa, sa Napoles case ay nandito din siya. Yun din ang binanggit niya na, sir, sana hindi kayo bumitiw. Ang SAP 44, nakakausap namin hanggang ngayon ang mga asawa, yun din ang sinasabi, pero mahirap talaga eh, no? But siguro ba isang makakatulong sa amin because we really thought no that big part of it is just financial and how you take care of your family. We didn't really realize na o nga naman, pagka maganda naman ang buhay mo, apektado din business mo. And it's also a target, no? I've noticed many of your developments or whether sa iyo yun o hindi, ginagamit din ng kabila para targetin. And of course, kung ikaw ay turista o ikaw ay kliyente, baka i-avoid mo na lang puntahan kasi siyempre ang Pinoy, minsan curious, minsan naman ayaw nilang puntahan yung tingin nilang or halimbawa, if you're a broker and you buy and sell, I think people will not buy from you dahil baka sabihin, baka sumabit pa yan sa mga kaso niyo.
Ayaw na pong magtiwala ng iba eh. Dahil ang sinasabi po ng iba, madadamay pa sila eh. Madadamay pa sila sa pag-iinitan ni Vice President Binay kung sakaling manalo pa rin siyang presidente. At bilang dagdag lang ho, Mr. Senator, marami hong pinawawalang salita yung kampo ni Vice President Binay na kaya raw ho ako patuloy na nagsasalita. Ako raw ho tumatanggap ng pera sa iba't ibang samahan. May nabanggit nga hong liberal, may nababanggit na nasyonalista. Gusto ko lang hong ipaalam sa inyo at sa sambayan ng Pilipino, wala ho akong tinatanggap na kahit na 5 sa kanino mang tao, kanino mang partido, kanino mang organisasyon. Ito ho talaga ay tinitiis ko. Kaya ang akin hong panawagan sa ating mga kababayan, uulitin ko lang ho. Itinaya ko na ho ang buhay ko rito. Kasama na rin ho yung aking pamilya, kasama na rin ho yung aking kabuhayan. Sana po mga kababayan, magpakatalino kayo.
And siguro, Mr. Chairman, when we invite the DOJ Secretary, maybe in the future hearings, no, and maybe even closed door, we can also have a dialogue with the media and news outfits. Kasi nakita ko may pagbabago din eh. Nung panahon ni President Marcos, pag may accusation, iimbestigahan ng media yan hanggang yung buong katotohanan lumabas. They still do that now. Maraming investigative report. Pero ngayon, mas trend ngayon is yung eto sinabi ng allegation, eto sinabi ng kabila. Kaysa sa ang media ay magbigay din ng conclusion. So for example, no, pumunta kayo sa Rosario, Batangas, no? Kahit sinong kausapin nyo dyan, sabihin, sir, walang duda kay Vice President doon, na may mga kapitan na nandito 2 weeks ago. Tawanan ng tawanan dahil nagpa-picture sa akin at kinakansyawan lang ng ibang staff namin, sabi, hindi naman lahat sumagot, pero yung isa sumagot, sir, ang dalas namin doon. Talagang ang Pamilya Binay nag-i-invite sa amin. Guest po ako doon sa electric co-op nila. Sila din po ang nagbigay ng mga resibo at hanggang ngayon daw nagbabayad ng kuryente doon ay tseke galing sa bangko sa harap ng City Hall. Even if Mr. Chu claims na sa kanya na, hindi daw nagbabago yung nagbabayad doon sa kuryente, no? And we'll give you all the opportunities to answer that. My point is, 30, 40 years ago, yan ang laman ng news, di ba? Ngayon meron pa rin. But then, kapag and even before, kukunin mo yung kabilang side. I'm just saying before, it was looked at as the duty of the news team to make a conclusion. Ito sinabi ni Vice, ito Vice Mercado, ito sinabi ni Vice pero nagsisinungaling si ganito kasi ito yung amin na-discover. Pero sa ngayon, sila ang madidemanda, sila makakasuhan kung gagawa sila ng some kind of conclusion, no? So I don't know which is better, which is worse, but it makes it harder for the witnesses because I heard, and can you verify this, hindi kayo pwede magsalita kung hindi kayo magpapaalam sa sa DOJ. Tama po ba yun, Vice?
Tama po.
Okay.
Kailangan magpaalam po kami bago kami
Unlike yung mga katunggalin nyo, like the Vice President can speak anytime and since he has, 5, 6, 7, 12 spokesmen, any one of them can also attack you. But the media will not necessarily interview your spokesman because for several reasons, no?
Hindi lang po yun, Mr. Senator. Gusto ko hong idagdag na rin sa inyo. Ngayon ho, 5 na kasong nakapile sa akin. Yun ho sarili kong abogado ang gagamitin ko. Magkano ho ang bayad sa abogado para harapin yung aking mga kaso?
Yeah.
Kaya nga ho ako, kung minsan, nakikisuyo na lang ako sa law office ni Atty. Bundal.
So what we're
Sinasabi
pointing
ko na
out,
sa
Vice,
kanya.
is regardless of whether or not your allegations is true and the public will be the one to judge, everyone na gusto mag-witness or mag-whistleblower sa ating bansa, yan ang nasa isipan.
Tama po, sir. Kaya ko ho ito sinabi ngayon, gusto ko lang hong makita ng ating gobyerno. Kung tunay na gusto nating mahanap yung mga tiwaling nasa gobyerno, bigyan natin ng tamang proteksyon yung mga taong nagwi-whistleblower. Kasi kung halimbawa ho ako'y walang kakayanan para buhayin ko yung sarili ko, buhayin ko yung pamilya ko, tatanggapin ko ho yung perang ibinibigay ng kampo ni Vice President Binays. Masarap na buhay ko eh. Pero bakit hindi ko po tinanggap? Kasi may natitira pa ho akong pagmamahal sa bayan at may pagmamahal pa rin ho ako sa taong
Anong ibig niyo
bayan.
sabihin, Vice? May offer ba sa inyo?
Pangalawang attend ko pa lang ho sa Senate hearing na ito, hindi ko lang mabanggit na sa inyo kung sinong tao yung nakipag-usap sa akin. Isang malaking tao, common friend namin, na nakipag-usap sa akin. Ngayon nga ho, ang sabi raw kasi dapat dinagdagan na lang natin para tinanggap na. Kasi mas higit pa raw sa ino-offer natin ang ginagasta natin ngayon.
Magkano ho ang offer sa inyo na?
Ayoko na pong sabihin sa inyo, basta napakalaking halaga po na kung mahina-hina ang loob ng isang taong pinag-alokan, tsak tatanggapin.
Para, Vice Mayor Mercado, para maging believable yung kwento mo, pangalanan mo yung nag-offer sa'yo at magkano ang in-offer sa'yo?
Pasensya na po kayo. Talagang ayoko pong madama yung isang taong yon. Kung
Well, hindi sa
magkaroon man ho
dinidepensang
ng
kita, Vice Mayor Mercado, but yan ang pinagdaanan namin nung impeachment kay President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. And it's ironic dahil kasama namin ang kampo ni Vice President doon. And ang style kasi nung umaareglo, Mr. Chairman, they use people who are equally close to you as to them. Kasi kung ang papadala nilang tao malapit lang sa kanila, madali mong sabihin Kasi anong pakialam mo dun sa tao na yon? In fact, parang may panakot na kasamang offer Pero pag, alimbawa, ako ang ginamit para lapitan si Vice. Di ba? Siyempre maano si Vice dahil pati reputation ko. No? But I also understand the chairman that, we have to follow the evidence. So if it's just a mere statement, without additional evidence, then it will remain on that. Mr. Chairman, just give me 3 minutes to also make a couple of points because it's been some time.
Before you go, so I would like to thank Vice Mayor Mercado for that updated PowerPoint presentation. Na-present mo na noon yan. Ang karagdagan lang is yung sa AMLAC. At tinatanong mo yung AMLAC, bakit hindi nahuli yung mga 1997, 1998 accounts? We will invite the executive director in the next hearing, but I could already foresee the answer, which I read in the papers, that the report covers the years 2008 to 2014 or early 2015. So that should be the answer, no? And then regarding your WPP inputs, we will invite Justice Secretary De Lima and Executive Director of the WPP, Attorney Meñez, to join us in the next hearing so that we can pursue this legislative angle on how to improve the WPP. Although for the information of everybody, there are 2 bills pending in my committee, Committee on Justice and Human Rights, one to improve the witness protection program and one precisely to come up with a separate program for whistleblowers. Iba yon. So, yun po ang ating inaayos, yung dalawang konsepto na yon. Okay. Senator Cayetano?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, because we usually hold hearings, let's say, once a week or maybe at least 2 times a month, no? But because we're unable to get all the witnesses that we need, the documents, and also because we're investigating something that happened over a period of at least 10 years and even more, no? So we haven't held regular hearings in the sense na 2-3 beses ang buwan. So I just like to respond to some points that have been thrown that is against the integrity of both the Senate and the members of this panel and also of this subcommittee. No? So may I just show some slides? No? And again, no, Vice President Binays is free to respond to this, but actually this is already my reaction to their reaction. No? Line number 1, that the creation of this subcommittee was irregular, extraordinary, and unfair to the Binays. Ang sabi po kasi ng kampo ni Vice President, bakit ganun at anong klaseng hayop ang subcommittee at hindi ito ginagawa? No? Slide number 2. In fact, Senator Nancy Binay, with all due respect, no, dared people to impeach her father. At etong sinabi niya, nagulat lang ako, all of a sudden nagkaroon ng subcommittee yung Blue Ribbon Committee. No? Kasi if that's the case, kahit sino sa amin ngayon can request the subcommittee na kunwari akuin ko na, ako na mag-hearing sa Malampaya since ang tagal nung issue na Malampaya. Hindi pa rin natin nasisimulan ng hearing, she said, referring to the pending investigation, the Senate Malampaya funds comes. We have again and again explained this is regular at ginagawa at nangyayari talaga to sa Senate. If you look at the next slide, pero mas maganda siguro, Sir Chairman, itong next slide kasi kitang-kita dito eh. Ito ang subcommittee ng Blue Ribbon na inimbestigahan ang anomalya sa LTO, no? At ang nag-attend po niyan, ang ating subcommittee chairman, si Senator J.V. Ejercito, and in fact, kahit siya ay nasa minority, ay sinuportahan natin at siya ang subcommittee chairman, no? I'm also attending, and on the other side ay si Senator Nancy Binay, and to tell you the truth, we're working well together sa issue na to, no? Line number 2, no? Next slide. That the administration is using the Senate to destroy and demolish VP Binay's reputation and chances of the winning the next election, no? Hindi po lahat sa atin dito ay membro ng administrasyon. Ako po si Senator Trillanes ay nasa Nationalista Party. May coalition po tayo, pero sa totoo nga po, halos hindi kami nakukonsulta, no? At in fact, ay meron silang minamanok na kandidato din nila. The chairman is a stalwart of the PDP laban, and when he started this hearing, I don't think you had a candidate in mind yet. Lately, I've been reading a name that excites the PDP laban. No? Can you go to the next page? No? Ito po again, no? Ito pong hearing na to ay laban sa DOTC. Ang secretary po ng DOTC, ang ASEX, USEX, ang LTO, LTFRB ay panay na sa Liberal Party, ay nasa administrasyon. So hindi totoo na opposition lang po ang ating iniimbestigahan, no? Hindi po natin tinitignan ang kulay politika sa ating investigasyon, no? In fact, anyone can attend this hearing, administration man, opposition. Next slide. Ito pong isang sinama namin sa hearing, no? Ito po ay parang minibus na bawal na e-jeep na lahat ng mga may jeepney sa Pilipinas ngayon, lalo yung mahihirap, ay hindi pwedeng kumuha ng prangkisa dahil may hold. Pero itong pong isa na member ng Liberal Party na allegedly may partner ng OTC na mataas ang katungkulan, ay hindi lang nagagamit ito kahit walang prangkisa at kung titignan mo walang plaka. Next slide. Hindi lang po ito minsan na may question din sa safety. Ito po ay sinasabi ng inquirer ay meron na daw pwesto sa NAIA. Habang yung iba naman po hindi nabibigyan. Next slide. At questionable din yung safety dahil nasunog. At napag-alaman na nangongolekta na ng pamasahe pero wala palang prangkisa at hindi pwede. My point, Mr. Chair, ito po sa Liberal Party po, I'm not talking about the whole Liberal Party. I'm talking about certain members that have connections sa DOTC. They are replying as gentlemen. We are discussing this as gentlemen and sa hearing, no? So it is and sa news, no? So it is not true that yung opposition lang ang ating iniimbestigahan, no? Line number 3, na pagtuunan po ngayon yung AMLC o AMLAC, no? Sabi po, AMLAC is conducting a fishing expedition, no? Doon sa hindi nakakalam, ang ibig sabihin ng fishing expedition, kumbaga, pupunta ka sa gitna ng dagat, magtatapong ka ng net, kukunin mo yung net, bahala na kung sinong isda mapuhat. So, para mo sinabing, Binay, lahat ng tungkol kay Binay, kunin mo, tignan natin kung may ebidensya, no? Hindi po ganun ang proseso sa AMLAC. If you go to the next page, no? Sinabi po ng kampo ni Vice President Binay, ni walang kaso, no? Sorry. If you go back to the previous page, ang sabi nila, no case has been filed yet against the Binays for alleged building overprice. Yan po ang lumang batas sa AMLA, no? The international group that is pushing for anti-money laundering all around the world is saying, ang problema sa corrupt, nagagamit ang pera para labanan ang prosecution. Ang problema, for example, sa drug lords all around the country, they have so much money. They can use it for death squads, they can use it for legal, they can use it for buying judges. That's why in the US, for example, they have the RICO law, no? But aside from that, ang daling maglipat-lipat ng pera. Ang daling bumili even for kidnapping. Imagine, kikidnapin mo sa kanto, pagkuha mo ng pera, i-deposito mo na. So pag nahuli ka ng polis, wala kang dalang pera, no? So that's why the AMLA law has been developing. And if you go to the next slide, freezing of monetary instrument or property. Upon a verified ex parte means one party lang po, no? Meaning the AMLAC, petition by the AMLAC, and after determination that probable cause exists, that any monetary instrument or property is in any way related to an unlawful activity as defined in Section 3, I hereof, the Court of Appeals may issue a freeze order which shall be effective immediately and shall not exceed 60 days depending on the circumstances of the case. Ano po ibig sabihin? 6 months, sorry. Ano po ibig sabihin ito, Mr. Chairman? Dati po kasi, pagka na-news na may kaso o may nag-file sa piskalya, sa ombudsman, matagal pa yun eh. So na-withdraw na lahat ng pera. Wala ka nang i-freeze. Yung account frozen, pero yung pera hindi frozen. No? That's why nakailan balik dito ang AMLAC, ang BSP, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, na sinasabing i-strengthen natin. Ang problema, medyo alangan po tayo na baka gamitin sa politika, baka naman yung inosente. So anong ginawa nating guidelines dito? Yung freeze order po, pwede pong pumunta sa korte. So lahat po ng mga businessman na nandito na na-freeze yung kanilang account, you can go to court and say, hindi ill-gotten yan. Walang unlawful crime. And i-unfreeze po yan. They can also have a petition na ang aming negosyo or ang aming anak hindi makapag-aral dahil yung pang-tuition nila, no? Pwede po 'yan. Ano po ang problema, no? Ako po isa sa bumabanat sa AMLAC dati. Sabi ko, ba't nyo hinihintay pa yung kaso? Patay na ang kabayo, saka palang dadating ang damo. Na-withdraw na lahat. But despite using this provision, Mr. Chair, no? 3.3 billion pesos was withdrawn by the various people and in the various accounts during the hearing. No? Mr. Chu is here. He can respond later on or if he wants to prepare for it. The records show that in one day, he withdrew 400 million? 400 or 500 million pesos, no? So we will go to that later. Let me finish this, no? AMLC is part of the conspiracy against VP Binay. The administration is using the government agency for political harassment, no? Next slide. Yan po ang sinasabi nila. Ginagamit daw ang AMLAC. Next slide. Yan po ang nahanap ng AMLC. Yan po ay galing sa GMA News, no? Pareho namin nakita ni Vice Mayor yan sa GMA News, no? Next slide. Para lang po may muka, no? At kita po ng mga tao. Yan pong nakita ng AMLAC ay factual lang, no? What are the facts? That they have accounts, kung ilan po ang account. Oo. Tignan niyo po yung kay Vice President. Ang sabi po niya sa media, 5 lang ang account niya. Pero ang nahanap po ng AMLAC ay 19. Sayang po, sayang. Bakit? Under the Philippine Constitution, you can run for the Philippines if you are you can run for President or Vice President if you are a natural-born Filipino, if you are 40 years old, and you can read and write. Yun lang tatlo. Dapat pala, you can read and write and count. Kasi kung may count, hindi sana siya vice president. Sabi niya, 5 lang account eh. Ang AMLA nakita na 19. Di ba? Okay. So this is just, the AMLC was just saying a fact that there are these accounts, there are these allegations. Sinundan ngayon nila yung mga transaction, no? Yung Rosario property, yung BSP, etc. And they found probable cause, no? Probable cause is not findings of proof beyond reasonable doubt. Probable cause pa lang. So, ang ibig sabihin, Mr. Chairman, ang pag-freeze ng account ay sinasabi lang, sandali lang, kung totoo na kinurap to, baka mawala pera, kaya hawakan muna natin. May proseso pa yan. No? So, tama kung sasabihin nila, sandali lang, huwag niyo muna sabihin guilty kami kasi frozen lang yan. Pero hindi po yun ang sinabi ng Vice President. Ang sabi niya, hindi totoo ang sinabi ng AMLAC. Eh, ba't hindi niya buksan yung mga account niya ngayon para mapakita? Kung talagang 5, may hinanda po ako dito. Ito po, Mr. Chairman, with your approval, we can send it to the Vice President. I state your name, voluntary authorized the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, Bureau of Internal Revenue, and other appropriate agencies and their authorized representatives, or pwede natin palitan yan, ng Blue Ribbon Committee accompanied by the councils of kung sino man pipirma, no? To examine, inquire to, or look into any of all my bank deposits, bank interest, financial connections of those and of those of my spouse and married children below 18 years of age living with me in a household. No, this shall consist as the waiver contemplated by RA 1405, otherwise as known as the Bank Secrecy Law. Kung sinasabi po ng Vice President o kung sino man sa mga businessman dito na hindi totoo ang sinabi ng AMLC, ito isang remedyo sa publiko. Allow any of these agencies or the committee to open the account. Tignan natin. Next slide, please. Ito po ang penalty sa AMLC kapag sila po ay sinungaling o nagbigay ng false report. Makikita nyo po, 6 to 4 months imprisonment, 100 to 500,000 pesos. And it is very, very, very easy to find out kung malicious yung reporting, if it is with malice, bad faith, or files a completely unwarranted or false information. Meaning anyone here, including the Vice President, i-file lang, ito ang pinakita ng AMLA, 19 accounts, ito account ko 5. Makukulong na ng 4 na taon, hanggang 4 na taon ng AMLA. So I do not think AMLAC, will come out with a petition sa court na hindi nila pinag-aralan dahil napakadaling gawin yon, no? But there's nothing to stop any one of these businessmen from filing the cases. Yun lang, mabubuksan yung account nyo. Kasi pag sinabi nyong false yung report, the officials of AMLC can now say, o sige, let's compare. Papayag ba kayo? In the past, those who were here refused. So tinanong ko kay Mr. Oreta, are you willing to confirm or deny yung withdrawal ng 100 million one day? He will not. I do not remember, Mr. Chu, if your answer was your right for privacy or right sa bank secrecy, but I ask you the same thing. Will you confirm or deny that withdrawal of 500 or 400 million? No? I asked also Attorney Subido kung willing siya pumirma. Hindi din. Di ba? But now that the AMLC report is out, no, nate-trace at kung ilan araw, kung cash and everything, no. So, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, let me stop there. But just to put on the record, no, that we are doing this professionally kasi ang pera na to, kung totoong nakurakot, para sa tao dapat sa classroom, sa health, and everything, no. Now, Mr. President, the problem is we have a lot of people before us and dapat hanggang 12 lang tayo, no? I'm willing to let them go if they commit that in the next hearing, or we will now, our problem, Mr. Chairman, in the past, hindi natin ma-agenda per topic kasi hindi natin alam kung sinong dadating. And we don't want naman na Boy Scout dito, Rosario property dito, cakes dito, and everything, no? But if the people before us will commit that they will be here when they are needed, we will allow them to give a presentation. Sagutin nila yung AMLC kung gusto nila. And then we will ask our questions so that we can get to the bottom of all of this, Mr. President. In the meantime,
I just
Mr. Chair,
informed Senator Cayetano that since he mentioned earlier Regina Capital, something, I think Mrs. Marita Limlingan of Regina Capital is here and is requesting if we could give her time to react.
most
or
welcome.
say
In
something.
fact, Mr. Chair, if all the witnesses were like her, na kapag ka nabanggit nandito na, we can finish the investigation instead of going to the next.
We welcome Mrs. Marita Limlingan, assisted by counsel, to join us here so they could react.
But just to dispose of this matter,
Yes,
Mr. Chair, while they're coming, will we have that commitment from our witnesses here so that we can, if they would like to go, then we can prepare for the questions, and we can even send them the topic that we will be talking about so that they can prepare. Maybe we're just talking about 4 groups. So the Chongs,
I think
the Makati
basically,
group.
basically they know why they are here. Mr. Villas, you are in the garbage contract. Ms. Aldon is with the employees. Engineer Line de la Peña in the infrastructure. And of course, Engineer Badillo, the Chongs, Cakes, and Meriras, the Comembo property. Mr. Chu, no, because Mr. Chu volunteered his appearance here. And we appreciate that, and we know that, Mr. Chu, that you have been present, except that there was a subpoena which you did not honor. That's why you were included in the list. But you appeared here before us, and we appreciate that. And then Professor Tomas Lopez appeared last time. So,
I think Mr. Chu wants
Mr.
to
Chu,
speak and the counsel of the Chongs.
Mr. Chu first.
Your Honor, just for clarification, all the subpoenas were answered accordingly, and if I may be allowed to submit a statement in due of time to the subcommittee for update on everything which may help the honorable senators to understand the situation.
Mr. Chair, just to clarify, Mr. Chu made certain promises here. Then you went on media and you said, since ginaganito ka ng committee, hindi ka na mag-appear. Then you refused to appear. So it's not true that you were fully cooperating. You were fully cooperating until your last appearance here. Then you went on media and said na hindi na. But before you said that sa media and you were here, you promised to give us copies of return check and tax declaration, summary of when all payments to Mr. Gregorio are due, board approval of sale and payment, due diligence report, tax declaration titles examined during the due diligence care of Attorney Subido, lease contract over stable hotel, provide name of caretaker who keeps their fighting cocks in Hacienda Binay, names of school guests who visited Samchamp, and financial documents of the company. Have you submitted this?
Your Honor, bawat isang subpoena meron pong sagot ang aking legal counsel, pero wala po akong natatanggap na reply from the subcommittee.
Okay, that's because, Mr. Chu, you promised here that you will give it. And then afterwards, you went on media and say, binabastos naman ako ng committee, ginaganito naman ako and everything, bakit pa magko-cooperate? Then, we subpoenaed you. Then you gave us a legal answer. You did not give us the documents we were asking for.
Your Honor, you have to understand that currently I have pending cases with various government agencies, and under constitutional right, I have the right against self-incrimination as advised by my legal counsel. So I don't think the Senate is a proper forum to present these evidences.
Well, that is your right to think that, but your thinking is wrong, Mr. Chu, because there is a difference between what the courts and the criminal courts will be doing and the Senate. So yes, you can invoke your constitutional right of refusing to answer questions because it might incriminate yourself. But no, you cannot ignore the subpoenas or refuse to go here. That is settled in our jurisprudence that even those who are accused should go here. So we in the military, General Garcia, General Ligot were accused, cases were in the Ombudsman. Ms. Napoles came here despite having cases pending. But it is your right to answer that you refuse to answer because it might incriminate yourself. No, that is your constitutional right. But whether or not you think this is the proper forum is irrelevant, because the law is what the law is. And the law says, when you are subpoenaed and you are compelled to come to the Senate, you come to the Senate. But we cannot compel you to answer this way or that way, no? But you can claim any constitutional right. So are we of that understanding, Mr. Chu?
Yes, Your Honor. That's why I'm here voluntarily. And just to make the statement clear, I have never avoided any subpoena. If I'm not available or I decided not to come here for whatever legal reasons, it is properly attended by my legal counsel.
Yes, Mr. Chu, but you have a reputation of saying something sa media and doing the opposite. So right here in front of us, you told Senator Trillanes, anytime pumunta kayo doon, pagpunta doon kasama media, ayaw silang papasukin. And then nung pinapasok, hindi dapat kasama media. And then nung pinapasok, only this time at hindi ka pwedeng pumunta doon. And you also said that anytime you will go here, that you will come next. But every hearing, there's an excuse, no? That's why eventually we had to issue the subpoena and eventually the order to arrest. But you are here already. That's why we are asking, no? Will we hold you here or will you commit that if we have a hearing, you will be here? We are reasonable. Of course, if you're out of the country, you're doing something. But sa dami niyong witness, kung bawat isa sa inyo susundin natin schedule, kausapin niyo si Vice President. Siya ang umaangal dahil hindi tayo matapos eh. Kami, hindi naman kami umaangal eh. But siya ang umaangal. But it's because you haven't been appearing, no? So that was my simple question now. Would you commit to appear in the next hearing and we will have a mutually acceptable date and we will tell you the topic so that we can clarify the issues concerning you and your company?
Yes, Your Honor. I have no intention to avoid the cooperation with the Senate.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
But I'm sure Mr. Chu knows the topic that you are expected to testify on. It is the Rosario Batangas property and Sunchamp's claimed ownership. And because you volunteered the information that you made payments, that's why the subcommittee wants the proof of the payment. That is what we're asking you, because that came from you, that you made an 11 million payment. And actually, there will be another question, because in your testimony last year, you said that by the end of this year, referring to last year, December, you would be making a 400 million peso payment. So we will be asking you, did you make that payment? And if it's yes, can you prove it?
Yes, Your Honor. The answers were already provided in our reply to the subcommittee this morning.
Okay. And lastly, no, is it clear to your counsel that the right against self-incrimination pertains to your testimony and does not apply, no, to the documents that we are requesting? Because these are corporate documents, and this is not testimony against yourself, no? And that is very well settled and clear, no? The DOTC during GMA's time had cases against ZTE, but we subpoenaed the contract, and even them submitted the contract, no? Of course, for example, if we subpoena a bank account and you say that you have a right under the bank secrecy law, that is another defense that, of course, we will follow the law, no? But is it clear to you and your counsel that that is the case? Because if you are going to refuse to submit, no, what you have committed to submit, for example, the appraisal, the due diligence study, no, that is not covered. That's not covered by your constitutional right against self-incrimination, because we're not asking you to testify against yourself. We're asking you to submit an official document that was submitted to your company.
Your Honor, just to clarify, I'm fully cooperative, except that right now we're bound by the cases against various government agencies, including the Anti-Money Laundering Council for falsification and creating malicious and wrong statement against me. So that includes Sunchamp, for your information.
I'm explaining to you, Mr. Chu, there is no conflict between submitting to those agencies and those investigative bodies the documents they're asking for and submitting to us. because this is in aid of legislation, and that is criminal or administrative prosecution. That is cleared in jurisprudence, because if you want to avoid being held in contempt, you have to follow the law. So so I read to you, for example, no, tax declarations and titles used during due diligence, no, that is not testifying against yourself. There is no law, there's no constitutional right that you can use to say that you will not submit that to us. No? You can submit that to the court as your defense, but that is also to us. Diba? It is not testifying against yourself.
Noted, Your Honor. The subcommittee can write to me whatever you want, and my legal counsel will prepare accordingly in accordance
Yes.
with the limits of the law.
We'll follow the process, but I am just expediting it by telling you and your counsel, diba, that do not try to misinterpret the law or to change the law, because we don't want to have to subpoena people or have to arrest people or have to hold people in contempt. Marami kaming trabaho dito. Hindi lang natitibi 80% ng trabaho namin. No? So, if it is a valid right, it is a right given to you by law or the Constitution, by all means we will respect it, Mr. Chu. No? But if it is inimbento, no, to try to conceal from this committee vital documents, diba? We will not stand for that. I think you understand that, and I hope you understand that, sir.
Understood. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Chu referred to a letter this morning, but that's actually dated yesterday, but received this morning. But it did not resolve anything, because you said I am constrained not to submit the required documents. So why can you not submit a proof of payment when you yourself volunteered the information that you paid?
Your Honor, Sanchamp is included in the freeze order as executed by Anti-Money Laundering Council. And because of the pending case, we are constrained not to be able to provide any information because this refers to bank transactions.
Anyway, Mr. President,
Anyway,
Mr. Chairman, precisely my point. They are misrepresenting the law in the face of the public, because ang ating karapatan sa batas, you cannot testify against yourself or to be made a witness against yourself. But corporate documents, it is settled in jurisprudence, no, that these documents can be subpoenaed, can be provided, and if it's used against you, it's not you providing it, but the corporation. It's a separate juridical entity. No. Anyway, Mr. President, then I will move for the proper and ask the committee to subpoena. And let me just read this part of our rules. The filing or pendency of any prosecution or criminal or administrative action shall not stop or abate any inquiry to carry out a legislative purpose. Let me give you a ridiculous example, Mr. Chair. No? Halimbawa ako, iimbestiga, may korporasyon ako, iimbestigahan ako ng Senado. Ang sasabihin ko sa isang abogado, pailan mo ako ng kaso para hindi na ako mag-a-appear sa Senado at hindi ko na rin ibibigay lahat ng dokumento. So that the law sees through that, no? So what the Constitution and the law gives you, sir, is that you will not be made a witness against yourself. You will not be compelled. You'll not be compelled to testify against yourself. But being here and submitting the documents, very clear yan. Unless you can point to another law, no, that exempts you or gives you the right not to submit. For example, the bank secrecy law. No, but I will just give a narration of the documents we need, Mr. Chair, and we can ask to subpoena. Then you can question that before the court. But under existing jurisprudence, no, it is very clear that these documents cannot be that you cannot refuse to submit these documents just because there is a criminal case or a investigation ongoing, Mr. Chair. Yes, maybe we can just consolidate
so that because Mr. Chu has been issued numerous subpoenas, so we will list down in one subpoena all the documents that we need. So one more chance for compliance, Mr. Chu. But Mr. Chu, did you in fact pay the 400 million before the end of last year?
Your Honor, actually, sinagot naman natin sa letter na because of the Senate hearing, the further payments were delayed, but we continue to operate in the Sanchamp Agritourism Park.
No, The answer is no. Okay.
Sir Chu, have you seen Mr. Gregorio
Laureano
Gregorio recently, or are
Not,
you in touch
not,
with
not
him?
recently, Your Honor.
But to make the payments, someone has to be in touch with him, correct?
There has been no payment.
Yeah, but to make the payments, syempre
The
manini-
lawyer and the lawyers of both parties are the one transacting.
who,
Your Honor.
and there's one law firm handling both, no, the Subido Binay Law Office, correct?
Subido Law Firm is my legal counsel for this transaction.
And for Mr. Gregorio Laureano.
There's another lawyer in the name of Attorney Fournier, not the same
Okay.
attorney.
May we
with,
call them also, Mr. Chair, because I think the committee cannot locate Mr. Laureano Gregorio, and to the knowledge of the committee at this point in time, he's not capable of accumulating that amount of property, much less to be able to sell it and to consolidate that much piece of land, no? But lastly, Mr. Chu, no? So you're not so you're pursuing the contract. You're not rescinding the contract with Mr. Gregorio.
Not yet, because under the terms, as long as he cannot deliver the titles, further payments would be halted.
Until when?
Well, we will have to wait until at least this Senate committee hearing is over.
Pero
And-
wala kayong date. Usually may date yan. Kung hindi ma-deliver by this time, solian na yan.
Well, it has to be mutually agreed.
Yes.
At the later stage.
But usually ho, may date eh.
As per our
Wala.
agreement.
So, because as you probably read in the news and saw in the committee, part of your property now belongs to Vice Mayor Mercado. So how can you own and pay Mr. Laureano when he has the title to part of the property, which he donated? Vice Mayor, you've donated it or you've turned it over to the Philippine government? Correct?
Oo. Kaya nga ho ako nagtataka na i-claim ni Mr. Chu na nabili niya yun kay Mr. Gregorio. Ako ho walang pinipirmahang anumang authority kay Mr. Gregorio. At yun hong lupa kong nakapangalan sa akin, nandun ho sa loob ng kanyang 150 hectares na kiniklaim.
So kung papasok ko kayo, hindi kayo trespassing dahil sa inyo yun?
Hindi po. Kaya lang baka ho hindi ako padaanin naman ng kiniklaim ni Mr. Chu doon sa unahan Kasi nasa gitna po yung lote ko Pero hindi ko po ipinagbibili yun. Dinonate ko na nga ho sa Philippine government yun
Mr. Chu, what's the first name of Mr. Attorney Fournier? Do you know? Or can you send it to the committee so that we can?
Yes, we will provide appropriate contact details in the name.
But just to answer that last question, so you do not see a problem that your property cannot be delivered to you because one of the owners is here before you?
Well, if the titles are not delivered, then it won't be paid based on our contract.
And you know that if Vice Mayor Mercado now goes to court or asks for police assistance to go into the property, you cannot stop him because he is the legal owner and titled owner of that area.
Let the court decide on whatever is within the limits of the Philippine law, Your Honor.
Because he is a titled owner Pag pinigil ka, sila ang may kaso, di ba? So anyway, that is a very curious situation, Mr. Chair. I think, Mr. Chair, the council.
Fournier of the Council for the Chongs. So, you want to say something, Banyero?
With your permission, Your Honors.
Sir, go ahead, sir.
Well, I am aware, Your Honors, that both under our Constitution, the Congress or any House can conduct inquiries in age of legislation, provided, however, that the rights of persons called to these inquiries are respected and not impaired. That is why, Your Honor, insofar as the Chongs are concerned, we are willing, Chongs are willing to cooperate, Your Honor, and to attend a meeting specially called for the purpose of hearing them out. But may we request, Your Honors, that in order to assist them also and also to assist the committee in knowing what exactly you want, would you be able to submit or give to the Chongs the information specifically wanted by maybe by asking specific questions.
Mr. Chair, if I may, no? Mahirap, Panyero, yung specific questions. Pero alam nyo naman yung question, eh. Kung napanood nyo yung hearings, no? And we can give you a transcript, no? Unang-unang, sinabi ni Vice Mayor, yung property sa Comembo ay isa sa may-ari si Ms. Erlinda Chong, pero hindi naman talaga sa kanya yon at ginamit lang ang pangalan niya ni Vice President. And question din ni Vice Mayor yung paraan na makuha yung property. Number 2, ay sinasabi na ang isa naming kasamahan senador dito ay kasama sa pagsusupply ng cakes sa mga senior citizen at ginagamit nga yung isang bake shop na ang sinasabi is sole proprietor ay si Miss Erlinda Chong ba? Erlinda Chong, no? Pangatlo, na lumabas sa media recently, ay meron pong catering service na magkasama si Junjun Binay, si Abby Binay, si Nancy Binay, at ang pamilya Chong, no? So the questions will revolve around that. Sa aking maybe the Vice Mayor can elaborate quickly, but ang aking pagkaintindi sa sinasabi mo kanina, biktima, hindi sila, ang parang sinasabi mo, Vice, hindi sila kasama sa conspiracy ng pangungurap, pero dummy sila o ginagamit pa. I did not get, I don't want to use the legal term, no? That's why I want the Vice Mayor to clarify. What do you mean by biktima at nagagamit sila? So that our kumpanyero can prepare
kaya
for it.
ako ay pinagtatanggol yung pamilya Chong. Kilala ko ho sila na lehitimo naman silang negosyante. Kaya lang, dun ho sa takbo ng dokumento kung paano inayos yung titulo na yun sa Comembo, sa batas po kasi ng DNR, hindi po pwedeng applyan ng isang pribadong tao o ng isang pribadong kumpanya yung lupa do sa area na yun na hihigit sa 300 metro kwadrado. Limitado po yun under ng Presidential Proclamation 2475. Nadinig ko nga ho kanina, nandyan yung dalawang representative ng DNR National Capital Region. At pwede ho nilang patunayan yun na hindi pwedeng magkatitulo yun more than 300 square meter. Kaya ho ang ginawa doon muna, lease contract. Yun ho ni-lease ng Miriras Realty, pero may batas din ho na after 5 years, pwedeng i-convert yung lease into sale. Kaya nga ho doon ko sinasabi na ginamit yung pangalan ni Mrs. Erlinda Chong para magkaroon ng titulo yung ganong kalaking lupa na naipangalan kay Mrs. Erlinda Chong. Pero ang nagpapatakbo pa rin ng lahat ng yun, si Mr. Jerry Limlingan pa din. Yun ho ang aking sinasabi.
Just to wrap that up, to answer our kumpanyero sa question, no? To correct myself, no, it wasn't Erlinda Chong who is the sole proprietor of Cups and Mugs Kitchenette, but it is Kim Tun Chong. And then dito po sa Millennium Food Chain, ito po ang mga incorporators, Erlinda Chong, Kim Tun Chong, Lilia Chavez, Maria Lourdes Nancy Binay, Marlene Abigail Binay, Jojo Mar Erwin Binay, and Angelico Salud.
Thank you for that clarification, Your Honor. That's why perhaps may we request a transcript of the stenographic notes of the hearing, and well, in fact, Vice Mayor Mercado specifically stated here that the Chongs are in Tagalog, no, a lehitimo negosyante, which I'm Bisaya, no, so I don't. What do it mean? Legitimate business persons, no. So we appreciate that. That's why, and in fact, Your Honors, as earlier stated by Vice Mayor Mercado, he seems to be the one who is in possession of information regarding, for example, the land. In fact, he was already making a presentation, Your Honor. Perhaps then, Vice Mayor Mercado should be the one who should be the resource person for that particular...
Tapos na, Panyero. Tapos na. He has already given us the basic facts, okay? Let us use common sense here, okay? Ang topics ng mga Chong. Meriras Realty. Is that, Mr. Kimsfer Chong, is that familiar to you, Meriras Realty? Yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, research about the Meriras Realty and your ownership of a Comembo property. Okay, Millennium. You know Millennium?
Your Honor,
Yes, Your Honor.
if you,
Panyero, let me talk to the resource person.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know it. Okay, research on that. Prepare. Mugs and cups and mugs.
Yes, Your Honor.
You know, di ba? So prepare on those 3 topics. That's all.
we are more than willing to cooperate, Your Honor, provided that their constitutional rights are not impaired.
Yes, we will respect the rights, and you're there. We will give you time to advise. But where is Erlinda Chong? I think she is the more knowledgeable of the Chongs. Tama? Who is she? And where is she?
She's my mother.
And where is she?
She's in Hong Kong currently. She's recuperating from a slight fracture and inflammation on her right ankle.
Okay, we will be reasonable. And where is the other Chong who did not sign an undertaking?
Well, my youngest sister po is currently with my mother, helping her out, and the other 2 are currently in the hospital.
Yeah, that's the
po.
problem with the other 2 because they signed an undertaking to be here.
Oo nga po,
And then
we're
they're
very sorry
presenting
for
a
that.
medical certificate. And then when I look at their ages, they are young people. Kung senior citizen sana ito, you know, I would be understanding. Pero
Mr. Chairman.
these are young people.
It's more dangerous, Your Honor, for a young person to have a high blood pressure because the blood pressure of Mr. Chong, Your Honor, that is 180 over 80, Your Honor.
Panyero, if it's legal matters, I will listen to you. Pero pag medical, umayaan muna natin, Panyero.
I had a stroke, Your Honor, so I know more or less.
Yeah, but
I'm
Panyero,
aware.
can you now cease speaking because the role of counsel is to advise on constitutional rights. Mr. Kinsfer Chong, where are these 2?
Currently po, they're naka-confine po sila sa hospital.
Confined.
Aha.
But they signed an undertaking.
Opo,
ha?
just last night lang po, emergency lang po. We were expecting them to come din po ngayon.
So ganun lang, I think the Senator Cayetano is just asking for a manifestation of cooperation. Your counsel already gave it. Are you 2 also giving it? Kailangan manggaling sa inyo eh.
Yes, Your Honor.
About
Chair.
Ms. Chong.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir Chair, just you know, the Miss and Mr. Chong here is much younger than us. We know how difficult it is to come over. And yun din ang sinabi namin dun sa Hillmarks, no? Ang problema lang kasi, sir and ma'am, ang mga pangalan nyo kasi nilalagay sa mga korporasyon eh. Di ba? So, kung wala naman pangalan sa korporasyon ng mga anak, ng mga pamangkin, ng magulang na may edad na, hindi kayo ipapatawag sa hearings eh. But the problem is, when we look at the documents, no, may it be sa Hillmarks or may it be in certain of your corporations, your names appear. No, so we know how stressful it is and how difficult it is to come before the Filipino people, come before the Senate. No, but if your names weren't used, we wouldn't have called you. But since your names are there, then you just answer the truth. So if you say ginamit lang ng parents ko yung pangalan or we're really in the business, diba? That's what I think our chairman is saying, that may common sense naman dito eh. Kasi if you come here to just answer the truth, wala tayong problema.
And
No,
Mr.
just tell the
Kinsfer
truth.
Chong, you are listed as the president of Miriras. Tama. So,
Yes, Your Honor.
So you will be the primary resource person about Miriras Realty. Okay, so prepare. Okay.
I think Mr.
And for all the others, siguro, and then I think the Makati City officials are here. We thank you
Just
for,
one
for your
question
presence
before we go
also.
to the Regina capital. The Makati officials, no? Nasubmit nyo po ba lahat ng pinapasubmit sa inyo?
Okay, please tell us.
But anyway, maybe we can confer with the Secretariat. Pwede bago kayo umalis, confer lang. Kasi marami kami pinasubmit eh. Like yung IT plan nyo nun, yung inyong personnel and everything, no? So I just want to make sure that when you're here, not only do you really say that isasubmit, but it really gets to us. Then maybe we can just have one person nakausap sa inyong sa City Hall para documents. Then just put on ko, ayaw nyo i-submit, put the reason why. Kung isa-submit, paki-submit po. Kung may delay, just write us so that no one makes statements here that sound unreasonable.
But the 2 engineers, I think, want to make a manifestation that what's your situation right now, Engineer Badillo, Engineer De La Peña?
Actually, suspended po kami from the office.
Until when, sir? Until when?
6 months ho, hanggang
Until when
September.
nga? Kailan mag-end yung 6 months, sir?
September po.
September pa.
September 15, I think.
Same with Engineer Line de la
Yes.
Peña. And because of that circumstance, you have no access to records, no?
Yes,
Ganun.
no.
Okay, but if we need you, please, because especially if you did some acts during a certain period where we need your testimony, okay? Please, okay. So they're nodding, but for the record, let the records reflect that they're nodding. So we have here, in the spirit of fairness, Miss Marita Limlingan asked that she be allowed to react, to speak, because the Regina Capital Development was mentioned. We will place her under oath.
May we put them under oath, and then may we ask them if they heard the statement so that we can repeat if they haven't heard the statements made. No?
But if you could keep it brief, ma'am, because we have to end around 2 o'clock. But, ma'am, please stand up because the Director General will administer the oath.
Kindly raise your right hand. Here. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may take your seat.
You are assisted by Counsel Pañera. Please
Yes,
state your
Your
name,
Honors.
Pañera.
Attorney Grace Veronica Reyes, Your Honors. Counsel for the Limlingan family.
Including Jerry Limlingan?
For the Limlingan family, Miss Marita.
Not Jerry Lim. Are you counsel for Jerry Limlingan?
Yes,
also?
Your Honors.
You know Jerry Limlingan?
We have been the counsel of the Limlingan family for quite some time. So
Mr. Chair,
including
just before we
Mr.
go
Thank you.
to just before we go to Marita, can we ask the counsel where is he?
Personally, Your Honor, I do not know.
Okay. No, we had to ask kasi you said you're their counsel, and he has not been seen or cannot be found, and we have an order to bring him to the Senate, Pañera. No?
I understand,
So,
Your
thank you.
Honors.
Ma'am Marita, can you say your personal circumstances muna, please?
Sir, Your Honor, I am Marita Limlingan, and I am the President and Chairman of Regina Capital, a stock brokerage firm for the past 26 years, a member of the Philippine Stock Exchange.
Have you heard what was spoken and
I did not really hear it. I was at work.
Okay.
I was doing other work, but my staff called my attention about it.
would you like
So
me to clarify so that you can respond?
No, more or less, I have an idea.
Okay,
They
so go
told
ahead,
me
ma'am.
already. I have a prepared statement.
Okay,
May
go
I
ahead,
read
ma'am.
it? So this morning, while I was at work, one of my staff informed me that in the Blue Ribbon Subcommittee hearing on the transaction between the Boy Scouts of the Philippines and Alpha Land, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano claimed that Regina Capital, the brokerage firm owned and operated by my family, was used as a vehicle to cover up a supposed anomalous transaction involving the Vice President, Jojo Binay. I deny Senator Cayetano's accusation in the strongest possible terms. There is absolutely no truth to the accusation that Regina Capital is in any way involved in any illegal activity, more so any attempt to launder money for anyone, including the Vice President. To my knowledge, Regina Capital has never transacted with the Vice President nor his family. I expected that the Senate would have been more circumspect in its action and more respectful of the rights of the people whom it claims to serve. It pains me that the people whom we have elected to protect us and to act as in our best interest would show no hesitation in shaming us and dragging us into a controversy which we have no knowledge of. For this reason, I am authorizing the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee to coordinate with the Philippine Stock Exchange and Philippine Stock Exchange to prove the baselessness of these accusations against Regina Capital. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am, for that. Ma'am, can I ask you a first question? No?
Yes.
You said shameless acts, no? Is it a shameless act if the Senate committee or any of its member just narrates certain facts that was testified here in the hearing or reported on the news?
Sir, it was more the
No,
implication.
let's not talk first, ma'am, about about this. I'm talking theoretically, no? Is it shameless if a senator simply states a fact? No, a fact that your lawyer is Miss Ganito. My broker is Regina Capital. Is it shameless to just do that?
No.
No, it is not. So I think you or your staff or both of you owe me and this committee an apology. Because obviously, mali yung ni-report sa inyo eh. In the last hearing here, it was Secretary Ongpin who said that part of their deal with Mr. Oreta, compensation, the word compensation was used here, but carried interest ang ginagamit ng Noble Care, no, was shares of stock and a part of the deal, no? So as part of the deal ng Boy Scouts of the Philippines who are not here anymore, certain shares of stock of shares of Silvertown were given to Noble Care, plus 100 million pesos. But later on, there was a deal with Alpha Land to exchange this with Alpha Land shares, no? And it was already in the name of Noble Care. But later on, nung hinahanap na po ito, because nawala po sa kanilang FS, no? Nandito po yung sinabit ng Noble Care sa SEC. Okay? So, hinahanap ko ngayon nasan yung shares. Sabi ko, nasan napunta? Hindi naman pwedeng parang bula na wala. Unless nga may tumikbak, may kumuha. So, ang testimony po ni Mr. Oreta at ni Secretary Ongpin, I'm not that sure now of two of them, it's with the Philippine Depository and Trust Corp. Okay? A few weeks later, Channel 7 came out with a special report saying those Alpha Land shares are with Regina Land, with Regina Capital. Okay? No implications that you did anything wrong. You're a broker. So if someone buys or sells shares or uses you, walang implication yan, ma'am. Okay. So today, I was grilling Noble Care na loan ba o hindi. Kasi sinasabi ng Alpha Land, loan yung 100 million. Sabi nila hindi loan, part daw ng compensation. Eh yung FS nila, hindi binook na loan, pero sa Alpha Land, nakalagay sa kanilang disclosure sa PSE that it was condoned. Okay? So, where are we going now? So, I told them, now, when we were looking, saan ba napunta, and we have to wait for Mr. Oreta, na saan bang broker, or when we talk about PDTC, what are we talking about? I quoted the Channel 7. Channel 7 said it's nasa Regina Capital. So can we invite Regina, if you look at the records, I said, can we invite Regina Capital so that they can shed light? Because who owns or who are part of the leaders or runs Regina Capital? Because Mr. Oreta has been testifying here. Do you know Mr. Oreta, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay. He's been testifying that he has nothing to do with the Binays, with these deals with Mr. Limlingan. Suddenly, may joint account siya kay Mr. Limlingan. Do you know that he has a joint account with Mr. Limlingan?
No.
He has a joint account, ma'am, with Mr. Limlingan. Okay? So the only other statement I said a while ago is that Vic Limlingan. That was the information given, and that was on TV. Now tell me, how could that be shameless? How could that be an accusation when I was simply stating a fact na sinundan namin, doon napunta? Did I call you a money launderer? Did I say that ang Regina ay tinataguan ng pera ng no? No. So if you come here, you know, and saying this shameless, if you came here and say, sir, can you clarify? Can you say, sir, we're not? I'll accept all of that. But for you to accuse me that I'm accusing you, I'm more responsible than that, ma'am. I've always been responsible of our banking system. I've always been responsible. Alam mo yung legacy, alam ko na dati pa yon. But kung bigla nating nilabas, marami pang ibang rural bank. Kaya we had to figure it out behind closed doors kung paano lumabas yung issue na walang ibang depositors na masaktan. So tell me how it could be irresponsible by saying, we're inviting you so that you can shed light. And they can give you the transcript. If you need 30 minutes, go through it. Tell me where in the transcript did I say that your company was doing anything illegal. Then you come here and say that we're shameless and that I'm making baseless accusations. I have not made one single accusation against you. Tell me what accusation I made, ma'am. Eh, nagchuchu sa inyo yung isa niyong staff, naniwala na kayo kaagad.
May I respond,
Go
sir?
ahead.
Sir, the fact that the name of Regina Capital is being dragged into this matter is already a big hit on our company. There's, I
Then,
mean,
ma'am,
you
then
know,
sue Channel
I mean,
7, ma'am.
Sir, may I just, I think that thing that came out on Channel 7, it did not say that we owned those shares of Alpha Land. What they stated was Regina Capital owned some shares of Alpha Land, not the particular Noble Care shares. It just said that Regina Capital holds shares of Alpha Land.
I did not
But
say you
never,
own it too, ma'am. I did not say. You
Yeah,
can
but,
check the records a while ago. Ma'am, your
it's-
name was mentioned, Regina Capital. I did not make it up. I did not bring it up. I did not invent this, and I know how stressful it is. I know how it is in the financial world. Mr. Chu is here. He has a publicly listed company. He's going to do the same thing. But how can you come here and accuse us of being shameless, being wild, etc.? Kasalanan ho ba namin na na-bring up? Kasalanan ho ba namin kung si Mr. Limlingan, pinasok lahat ito? That you can answer here directly. Well, is the shares of Noble Care sa Alpha Land, is it with you in Regina Land or no?
No.
Oh, so that's it. It settles it. Your clients are watching, tapos tayo. But instead of mag-akusahan at magbatuhan tayo ng putek, it's just that simple, ma'am. So are you willing that the PSE look and check if yun nga yung nasa Noble Land na Alpha
Yes.
Land sa inyo? So ma'am, that will settle it. And there's no damage to you, there's no damage to the committee. But don't come barging in here as if you know we are hoodlums here that are trying to destroy anyone's reputation. I had the information about Regina Land ever since because everything about Jerry Limlingan, ni-research namin. Did we ever come out with it before this Noble Care and this Channel 7 came out? Did you barge into Channel 7 and do the same thing to them? Did you tell Mr. Goson, did you tell the Dwavits that you're shameless?
You take action against Channel 7, ma'am?
Sir, no.
Immediately after the airing of that news report?
No.
So how come theirs is a fair report and how come by me saying let's invite you and let's ask you if totoo nga na sa inyo Noble Care? You can look at the transcripts, ma'am, but that's the problem eh. That's why tinanong ko kayo kanina eh. Gusto nyo ba ulitin ko kung ano nangyari? Di ba? Ang problema, isang staff lang na nakarinig. Di ba?
Sir, may I answer? Kasi sir, just by using the name of a stock brokerage, it's already destroying our reputation. That's why I was really, I was really stressed when I heard it. And that's why I came immediately to the Senate hearing, just to deny all the allegations. I want to say that I don't know anything about it. And to me,
It's very, very, very well taken, ma'am. We're happy you came here right away. We're happy you allowed the PSC to look. We will take your answer at face value. But it's not correct to come here to scold us and to say that we're shameless and the people you elected, etc., because you had no basis to do that. Now, question, was it wrong for us to mention your name? Your name was mentioned on television. So you mean to say if someone here says X broker or Y broker, no? May pera si, I have the AMLAC report here, no? And when we start talking about, there'll be some brokers there. So do you mean to say that it will be unfair for us to mention them? It's just factual. BDO, kung saan nag-withdraw si Mr. Chu. Tama, Mr. Chu, BDO, no? In Caloocan. Oh, would BDO come rushing here? Ano bang malay ng BDO kung ano ang transaction ni Mr. Chu? As far as they're concerned, he has a publicly listed company, he's transacting, he showed his papers. So I understand, ma'am, kung yan ang dating sa inyo or sa ilan yung kliyente, but that was not our intention. We did not do that. So I think it's unfair naman na papasok kayo, scold nyo kami dito. Para naman kami mga bata na hindi namin. Tingnan nyo yung papeles na to, ma'am. Oh. This morning lang to. 3 kahon pa to kagabi.
Sir, it's just the insinuation. But now that you have clarified it, we're sorry and we take your I'm sorry for the wrong for this statement that I made. It was just the insinuation.
Your apology is humbly accepted, ma'am. And we are also very concerned kung naapektuhan kayo at yung iba sa PSE. That's why we had the PSE here. And we had private dialogues with them kung paano mangyari to na hindi madadamage. But you have made it clear, and you can tell your clients that you're a legitimate firm for 26 years, and you don't launder, and you do not deal with anything illegal, no? And let's just leave it at that. Let's get the PSC to look. Pag sinabing PDITC, saan nilagay? I mean, if the Noble Care is here, and they care, hindi, Noble Care pa naman yung pangalan, kung sabihin man lang nila, di ba? Na kanina, na ma'am, hindi kami sa Regina Capital, dito kami naglagay. Wala tayong problema, ma'am, eh. But they kept on evading. So I hope that settles the issue, ma'am, no? And I will review the transcript. If I think I made an insinuation that was unfair, I will also apologize. But to my knowledge, it was a factual narration of how we will conduct the investigation, with no imputation of any wrongdoing to you. First of all, ma'am, if someone places an order or sells stocks with you, you wouldn't know if that it's being laundered for someone or not, di ba? You wouldn't know.
No.
If I buy shares and it belongs to Coco, you wouldn't know, as long as I sign and everything. Di ba, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
I know, Ms. Limlingan, your position in Regina Capital Development Corporation.
Sir, I'm the president and chairman.
You authorize us, no,
Yes.
publicly.
I
to be-
authorize you to coordinate with the Philippine Stock Exchange to...
Ay, kung coordination lang, you don't need to authorize us.
Sir, kasi...
What are you authorizing us to do?
To coordinate with the Philippine Stock Exchange and do an investigation along the guidelines of the exchange.
Regarding your
What-
activities, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever is...
Regina
yeah,
Capital, okay.
Yes, yes.
So, but since I was reminded by my staff that since you are a corporation, can you give us a board resolution authorizing you to authorize us?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Lastly, ma'am, no, you said that you did not know that there is a joint account between Mr. Limlingan and Mr. Ureta, no?
Are you referring to Jerry or
Jerry,
to
Jerry.
Victor?
Jerry
To
Limlingan.
Jerry, yes.
Yes.
I don't
You did not know, yeah?
No.
And you also did not, did you know or do you know that Mr. Jerry Limlingan also has an account with Ebeng Baloloy? And Ebeng Baloloy is only making 30,000 a month, more or less, in Makati, but has been found to have, I think, almost 300 million, 280 million in her accounts. No? You don't no knowledge.
I just know it through the newspaper.
Yes, yes, just like many of others. So, anyway, ma'am, you might have had the misfortune of having the Limlingan name at this point in
Yes.
time, but it's just like any other name. If there's a Cayetano na Bastos out there, di ba? That's not me. That's not my family. I mean, you're not. Jerry will answer for himself. Despite relationships, you're not Jerry. So we'll let him answer for himself, ma'am. But the links we cannot ignore. But you're free to answer and to clear the name. No, in fact, you don't have to clear the name because we have not accused the Regina Capital of any wrongdoing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Just for the record, we have the DNR representatives. Can you state your name, sir, and position?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
And
Your
we will
Honor.
ask you to come back because I think this is in connection with the Comembo property, di ba?
Yes.
Sige, please state your name, sir, and
I'm
position.
Engineer Ignacio Almira, Jr. I'm the Chief of the Surveys and Mapping Division in the DNR NCR.
The other one, sir.
I'm Mr. Florencio M. Chavez, former Chief Land Patents, DNR NCR.
We'll ask you to come back. Okay. Mr. Kimsper Chong, Irene Chong and Kim Tun Chong are your sister and
My
brother?
siblings po.
Siblings, yeah. Younger?
Older.
Older? But since you hold the accountable position of president in Miriras, tell them not to be not to be ano tawag doon? Not to feel threatened, just to appear to comply with their undertaking to be present.
Yes, sir.
And you will do all the talking because you're the president of Miriras. Okay? But since they made the promise to be present, they should comply. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
We're sorry for that,
next,
sir.
In the next hearing.
It's
in the
not
next hearing.
intentional.
So, Mr. Chong, the DNR are here, so they are preparing. So I'm expecting you also to prepare on the Comembo transaction. Okay. So, okay na? So, okay, for the rest, just comply with your undertaking and we will have no problem. Professor Lopez, thank you very much for your 2 consecutive appearances. So, okay, Akoa, do you want to make any report? Wala pa po. But you made some commitment, sir, to submit something, no?
Well, sir, the audit of BSP, we started it, but we referred the matter to our fraud audit office, which is now going over the records.
Okay, so we will just inform you of the date of our next hearing, and I would like to thank each and everyone for your attendance. Just a public announcement that we will now ask that Mr. Laureano Gregorio be...
May I make that motion, Mr. President, that given the numerous times that we have tried to invite, serve the subpoena on Mr. Laureano Gregorio, and since he's the key or one of the key persons who can, reveal the truth about the Rosario property, it's what proper that he be held in contempt and brought to the Senate upon the following
The
the
subcommittee will now make the proper recommendation to the mother committee. So once again, thank you very much for your cooperation and for your attendance. Our hearing is hereby suspended.
Kaya maniningil na lang ako